3, 2, 1, going live. And we're going live. We're going live. Hello, everybody.
Live?
We're live.
Oh no, we're live.
Praise be to the orb.
Praise be to the orb.
Praise
To the
orb.
orbs.
No.
Yeah, I just fondled myself on the internet, Mom. I hope you're proud of me.
I mean,
Not the first time, it won't be the last.
Just bringing down the average for the rest of us. It's cool.
You got it. You got it right. Welcome to Legends of Logomancy, the best Canadian TTRPG stream this side of Monday nights from Canada. That's
in
reductive
Alberta.
because I said Canada twice, but yeah, Alberta.
I mean,
Berta.
we can just leave out the Berta part.
Hey, Alberta.
We could, but I mean, we gotta
I
have
would love
something
to
going for
leave
us.
away from the Alberta part.
It's a choice. It's a choice.
Jokes aside, I love the weather.
It's not a
out here.
choice.
The weather is lovely.
It is. I spent the majority of the last week away from Berta, living it up in BC. So
And I spent
That's
most
fun.
of it inside.
it happens.
Yeah.
Riley, you were sitting at one of the best tables at one of the better cons of the year.
Well, one of the newest cons of the year.
You know,
Mhm.
I was talking to the event coordinator staff because we were at GameCon Canada all weekend,
Canada.
and you may have come to hang out and gotten some books and had a good time and played some games with us.
Hands up if you
I was talking to the
got-
coordinators, and a bunch of people were like, "This is what Comic Expo was when it was fun."
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cute that's a good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Because there was a lot of good energy, even on the Sunday when I finally dragged myself over to help these guys.
When you're finally back in the province.
Yeah. Helped.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's good.
and by help I mean leaving Riley at the booth while I go and schmooze people.
I
Yeah,
mean,
Riley
somebody's
didn't die.
got to schmooze.
Yeah.
We've successfully reanimated Riley's corpse, and we are weekend at Bernieing him right now.
Yeah.
We are not corpse people on cameras. It's not a thing. Wrong game for that.
I mean, I don't know about y'all. I'm just a talking head. Like, that's it.
I am a meat popsicle.
But James, how are you tonight?
My feet hurt, Riley.
Yes.
My feet hurt so much, and not from the con. I went camping in sandals, and the mosquitoes were bad.
You
Ah.
fool.
It's a human
I-
blister.
Look, I'm a dad. I wear Crocs. It's a thing.
Well, fair enough.
It's fine.
Yeah, I guess.
But you know, I'm rocking some swag.
I can't believe that it's orb.
Mac, may our
It's the-
pages forever
you,
be
Mac.
immortalized in t-shirt form.
It's
I
the
say, I'm a design genius.
You are. I go where the demonic booty leads me.
The death metal font.
I keep telling my wife it's about her
It's a vibe.
because it kind of is.
Um,
Riley, how are you aside from tired and exhausted and people dying?
tired. I'm tired. No, I'm actually.
No, I said
I'm doing
aside
okay.
from tired.
Aside. I'm sorry. No, I'm doing okay. Again, I've had a lot of coffee. I've had a lot of coffee.
Hmm.
But I was excited about a couple of things I picked up at the con, and I want to really want to share them.
Okay. So
Canuckburra?
the Canuck Mara.
The Canuck Mara. It is a wonderful miniature made by our friends over at Creature Caster.
The Canuck Chimera.
The Canuck Chimera. It is an
It's a Canuck
unholy.
Mara.
It's a Canuck Mara. It is an unholy marriage of a beaver, moose, and goose.
Oh
Dear
my
God,
gosh.
Don't tempt me
I'm
with a
naming
good
it
time.
Edward.
That's pure chaos.
That's
mischief, violence, and look at me funny, I dare
The-
you. All
I
in one.
can't wait to paint it.
The only way that could be better, Riley, is if you named him Norbert.
yeah.
Norbert. Yeah, no, I was gonna name it Edward, but really elongate the E.
Oh, Edward.
Edward. Ken, how are you?
Ken's doing solid. Managed to nuke my own computer, but look at me now, Mom. I'm back online.
Yep.
Always check which drive you're formatting, kids. Even if you work in IT, don't be so
Oh my
overconfident.
god.
Yes.
It's of all the silly mistakes. But no, I'm good. Other than that, I've recovered greatly from it, and weather's been nice. Got some good walking in.
Mhm.
Also, you know, the doom of all my players forever, and their death upon the altar of GURPS, as is my want. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, got some iced tea going. It's great. My wife's got that going on.
I like it. Merc. Over here. Mac, how are you? Are you bees?
I don't think I'm bees.
Oh,
You don't
he's
sound like bees. No
I
longer
hope I'm not
bees. How goes?
Tired. It's very warm in my apartment.
I can
I would
only
love
imagine.
to open
Oh,
that big window, but then you would hear all of the sirens and people yelling and
well, massive black clouds are coming down off of Nose Hill into downtown, so give it an hour.
I pray for the rain. I finally finished a Gundam for the first time in a few months.
Yeah.
Fun.
After building like one a week.
Oh, look at those
Oh.
wings. The iridescence on those models, my God.
Is that
Yeah,
that's Justice?
No, it's,
that's
it's
no,
overcompensating.
it's Destiny.
Destiny, that's right. With the translucent wings of goodness. I like it.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of
Phenomenal.
extra pieces that like can shoot out on little stands, but I don't
The
have
little bits and
space.
stuff. I love it.
I need more shelving.
I like it. You know, you
Yeah.
you could suspend them from the ceiling with the fishing line.
You could
Yeah.
have a space battle on your ceiling.
The ceiling space
That
battle.
sounds like impossible. That sounds like a disaster because I can't drill into my ceiling because it's solid concrete.
Gundams don't weigh very much, and 3M panels are totally a thing.
No, I know. I just if it fell and it shattered, I'd be sad.
Yeah, that's fair.
The cat already knocks my shelves off as it is.
Neon,
I could imagine diving.
Yeah.
to get out your Gundam.
I'm gonna jump to you so Mac can fix his bees. Because he's got bees
For
again.
sure. He's got bees. Oh no.
It's okay. He keeps
Resi-
bees. I'm reminded
Resident
of that.
beekeeper.
Yeah, I'm reminded of that scene from Rick and Morty. It's like, look at your dad, so stupid. Keeps bees. It's kind of hot keeping bees.
Kind of hot keeping.
Want to fuck your dad?
I'm a
Oh my
truth seeker.
God.
I seek the
Can't just-
truth.
Oh, get out. What's it,
How you been?
season 1? It's intense.
I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
running on 4 hours of sleep, and I had the most sitcom moment of my life today, where my boss was like, "Yeah, and Luna is our new health and safety officer for this location." And everyone looked over to me, and I was attempting to start a fire with a popsicle stick that I'd broken in half.
I love it. Oh, that's
So-
Seinfeld.
Very, very it was, yeah. The ADHD is off the rails today, and it just everything lined up perfectly.
I worked as the occupational health and safety rep for a union of 90,000 people.
That's what happened. Oh, this explains everything.
I stopped doing that when we had babies, but
That's
It's a
fair.
thing.
That's fair.
shall we jump into some GURPS?
I
Let's-
do
GURPS,
believe we
fourth edition
shall.
GURPS. I like it.
Gorp.
GURPS.
Gorps?
It does sound like something the Swedish chef would say, doesn't it?
Hurdy, hurdy, gurdy, burden. Ken, can you
You're welcome.
Thank you.
can you remind me where we were at?
Where last we left our hero. Man, I don't know. I'm just a dog. Well, we're you had caused. I can't even put my finger on it. Ultimate and anarchistic chaos among the place that you're getting paid to get organized. I don't know. It's you guys have done some stuff and some things. You arrived at the Colorado facility. You had gotten wigged out by some wacky magic juju, and ended up trying, to the best of yourselves, setting up this meeting between the two courts of the Fae and possibly a third. And things had kind of gotten figured out. You had met the representatives, or so you had thought, and you'd kept on dealing with this granite man and had no idea why. And then last session specifically, you were also met by the American Committee, the third new court that could possibly appear, this U.S. of Fae. But
Title of the sketch.
He said the name of the
he said
thing.
the name of the thing. The meeting kind of went south when another party showed up, who was the voice of the mountain, a very tall, statuesque Native American man with a Colorado accent, not a Boston accent. I gotta give it to you.
Sorry, I just need to stop this here for just 1 second. You said it went south. No, we rolled down the hill, which was a mountain, then kept going and going
into a lake of fire.
Like a 45-degree angle with rockets on. Like, you guys have just been careening downhill this entire time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that was out there.
Yeah. It's not quite south so much as it's like down with a vengeance. So adding fuel to the fire on top of meeting a zombie George Washington and a kind of a dunce of a representative for the Bicentennial Committee, your meeting got interrupted by the statuesque Native American man who introduced himself as the voice of the mountain, proceeded to tell you you were all not listening to the mountain, and the voice of the mountain was now here to tell you, what the fuck are you guys doing? Think about this. And you guys did. You took a moment. Specifically, you had a Bacchanal festival while well, the one man with a contact who could tell anybody what was going on went off to make a phone call. Meanwhile, tits were out and satyrs were frolicking, and somebody ate a boot full of fish. It was a grand old time. But a good friend, Dr. Faust, across the pond, had a vaudevillian conversation that did explain that things involving nuclear fae might not be something anyone should get behind, and you guys should rethink your positions in life. So, with 2 major votes against and the vague spookiness of the events leading up to now, a decision was made by one Oliver Brooks, and otherwise he got the rest of the party on board, and at the actual meeting of the courts of the Fae, Zombie George Washington yelled Twinkie House and knocked out the Bicentennial Committee chairman. And a whole bunch of other weird vagrancies happened, just strange events, where the meeting has now been postponed for a short while. And while collecting your thoughts and heading down to the barracks to eat a meal of tinned goods as provided by the man named Bait, there was a moment where the Lady Protector, realizing, oh, we should probably get that representative who's cold-cocked on the floor and deal with that in some capacity, came across the secret transmissions coming off of a hidden walkie-talkie on his belt, which had some strange device attached to it. But long and short, she heard the sounds of the honor guard for the committee having disappeared somewhere in the facility, now dealing with some before unspoken threat. And so now you have collected, you've revitalized your motivation to deal with spooky shit that goes bump in the night, and you find yourselves prepping for likely a hot drop scenario. And I don't just mean the sloppy Joe that Bake just made, that if I remember correctly, failed by 2 on bad rations. Right? Yeah.
That's for the younger viewer.
Oh, did we just make a Fortnite reference?
I just made a Fortnite reference, yes.
All right, GURPS is over. I'm sorry, everybody. Go home.
Yep.
We can patch it up. We're done.
That's it. Goodbye.
Riley,
It was going to be that or Apex, I swear.
Riley, you're out of the next game. No Star Wars for you.
Oh.
You're done.
Oh, social violence.
It'll be all right. So, we all chose violence
Yes.
and dank. Dank violence. Yeah.
Yes, there was a
dank
cloud
violence.
of dank, previous untoward mentioned, but y'all survived, give or take, for various reasons.
Lit George Washington on fire. It's fine.
You know,
Just went up in flames.
Oliver's just had at least one aneurysm that he's aware of.
I realize it's kind of fitting, but one of my Big British Amps has a big Union Jack on the side.
You're the only American representative of the B.P.R.D. party.
I understand that. Why would I have an American flag in here?
You dressed up for the last 2 sessions. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't own an American flag, Ken. I own many flags.
If you've already had an aneurysm, you might as well just go balls to the wall. You got about 2 hours left.
I can't tell if he's speaking literally or not.
Yeah. It'll be all right. It'll
if
be
someone
okay.
told me I had 2 hours to live, I would go balls to the wall.
There's that.
I'd probably have a nap.
Just fapping.
You know what? I just enjoy the sleep.
As an
All
aside,
right.
I'd like to say welcome to the 200 new subscribers on top that we just got over the last weekend. This is the kind of humor you're in for.
Sometimes.
For some,
Sometimes.
depends on the players.
Yeah.
Depends on the game.
James.
So mentally preparing us all to get back on the rails, setting the scene momentarily. You're in the mid-levels of the facility. You had a meal at the barracks and had the D&D equivalent of a short rest. Unfortunately, none of you have spell slots to return that I know of.
I get Gizmo back. That's all that matters.
Yes, you do have your uses of Gizmo back. And otherwise, we had ended the last session, I believe, on the scene of the Lady Protector praying in the elevator as it descended to the lower levels.
Yes.
While you guys were aliens style locking and loading guns as it descended to hell.
Yeah. We're going to the meat room.
If you guys needed a momentary retcon of the last 5 minutes of that, totally makes sense considering it's been 2 weeks.
I mean, Oliver's just like taking a look at his bullets that he's loading into his gun, and he is currently loading in this specific order because I believe it's a 6-chamber gun, correct?
It's a 6-chamber revolver. Yep.
Yep. It is going to be light in the first one. And then he is going to put create. Where was it here? Wait, where's my other page of my notes? Oh, there we go. Create air. Transform sense. And then weaken protect. For the last ones.
Okay.
Very good. Very good.
Yes.
Just making your note down here. Ignore everything Oliver just said and make the gun explode. Very good.
Ken's like, how do I stop bullshit?
When in doubt, just say a leprechaun. You just dismantled it in your pocket. I don't know.
No, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
We're missing an hour again.
Oh God, your memory is so shaky. Even those of you with photographic memory. Ha 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 ha. Yes.
I like it.
But other than Oliver locking and loading, I know that Bait was definitely strapping down his helmet and locking slide on his 45. Lady Protector,
Just ready.
always just constantly ready. Just the Lucy Lawless of life.
Mm-hmm.
Stamen writing Last Will and Testament, putting down some slam poetry before.
Stamen?
Damon.
Stamen.
Damon
You said no. You said Stamen.
I believe he said is Damon.
is
Yeah.
Damon. Is
Ken's in a box tonight. It's okay.
I'm in a last cage of emotion.
Yeah.
He is absolutely not looking forward to any of this and is considering killing everyone and leaving.
Well, have I got?
He hasn't said this
second
out
vote
loud.
for you. You know this little mental conversation she has with you, Gwendolyn, whispering, not sultry, but slithering in. Now would be the perfect time. Pray them all.
I like
Are
it.
we already in the meat room area?
I think we're in the elevator going down.
Prepping to go, yeah. Within 10 feet of the floor you just departed from. Sloppy Joe
In my
stains on your
mind.
shirt.
I do not stain my shirts. Plus, they're black, so you couldn't tell.
Unless.
Well, that's different. I, in my mind, kind of respond back and say, thought about it, but there are it's too close quarters. I don't want to get crushed by the big one because we'd have to go after her first. It's too crushed quarters. Maybe if it was a larger quarters.
You are no fun. Am I just gonna have to settle for whatever chaotic violence will satisfy me down at the bottom of this elevator shaft?
I mean, Ken, if you want the session to be over, I can just unleash a bunch of flame right now.
The option is always there, as in all TTRPGs, but especially in GURPS. You can go ahead and be the floating psychic muffin of your dreams here and just let loose with a flamethrower in an elevator.
I could, but the big one's big, and
The big one.
the big one will be the problem.
The big one's big. We all know he's talking about. I'm not worried about the
Wouldn't
other-
be the first time that I've smacked a spell out of your hand.
True. That exactly. So like, I can't die, but I also don't want to just be repeatedly beaten to a pulp for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
I've got
understandable.
time.
So I will refrain from filling this entire box with an inferno,
Very good. So,
as much as I want to.
guns armed,
Mm-hmm.
pants straightened, minds set. You
Tea
descend-
drank.
teeth. You descend on an express elevator to hell.
Listen up, ladies.
Ladies.
We are entering a live combat zone. Eyes are sharp, guns are hot. If you see movement that is not us, you fire first, ask questions later.
Ma'am, I think I've got a new trick. I'm
Yeah?
pretty sure I can dodge bullets with my mind.
You know what, Bait?
I saw that impressive feller upstairs do it, and
Yeah.
I'm fairly confident that I've got this. And he goes,
Bait's in front.
Pete's in front.
puts his helmet on.
And you. Gosh, Damon, was it? And Gwen. I'm going to trust both of you.
You're going to? You're not going to?
I'm going to. And Deanna will unsheath her sword and level it right at like the clavicle of Damon's chest. Just the tip of.
Just to see how that feels.
Just underneath that leather
Yeah.
forget they
Yeah.
got.
Understand that if anything goes wrong and it is directly on you, you will not make it to see the surface again. But for now, I need you operating. And she's going to cut the collar.
Ken, what happens when the collar's cut? Because I don't know.
I am going to need the Lady Protector to roll dexterity.
Just
So
straight
you
dex?
don't impale him through the neck.
Broadsword is a dexterity-based skill. I'm gonna say, let's call it your broadsword skill at least, but just
Okay.
what broadsword? We'll go from
Oliver has gone pale.
I beat by 1.
By the way.
there. Oh, thank God.
Yeah, Oliver's gone pale. Just so you know. Oh, Ken, button.
Ken.
Button.
The Lady Protector, the Knight of Righteousness, who you all know has this massive reputation of putting her sword in places that demand it be there, has just thrust directly at Damon's neck, and you have heard the parting of metal and the shearing of leathery flesh, and then Damon is standing probably a little surprised and a little nervously as 5 pounds of leather and steel slides off his neck, tumbling off of behind him, and whapping into the floor with a heavy slap. And on the inside, there is exposed a fist-sized brick of something labeled Semtex, live in red, with wires running all through it, through the collar itself. And it fizzles,
Oh, good. We're not
and
dead.
none of you are dead.
Ah, very good. Next time, that collar didn't stop any of his powers. I hope you know that.
It's easier to fight when you're not worrying about getting blown up.
I mean, somebody could have shot him in the dick, and he would have fallen over and bumped his neck.
No, it's a little bit better than that. But anyway,
Consider it a
was
sign of
just
good
an
faith.
Explosive. You're fine.
Sir, did you
What-
put
what
that
hap-
on him?
Yes, I did. I was one of the technicians who helped out with that. Yes.
Oh.
I am going to slam him into the wall and put my gun up to his throat, like at the chin.
In the jowls?
You're charging the fat man?
Yes.
Okay, that's... I will call Oliver slightly surprised on this. So, Damon, go ahead and roll brawling at +4. It's a football tackle. You're throwing all your momentum and your upper body into this. And Oliver can defend at his choice, pairing with your cane, dodging out of the way.
When you say +4, if I rolled an
Preventively
8, it's
using
now a
magic.
12?
Yes, if you normally roll against 8, you would roll against a 12 instead.
No, I'm rolling against a 12 normally. So I'm
Oh.
rolling against
And what's your brawling skill?
it says 12.
Okay, and 12 plus 4 would be a 16, so you just
Yeah,
rolled an
yeah.
8 on 16.
I rolled an 8, yeah.
A definite success. Oliver, I'm thinking a 15 doesn't pass any
No.
of your active defense.
Nope, it definitely doesn't. And I
Thanks.
get slammed into the wall. Damon, I will tell you right now, doing this will not end any better for you at all.
Yes, but it will end worse for you.
Fair enough. But I will say,
Why am I the only one in a collar? Why isn't the big one in a collar?
she's worked with us for many years.
Gwen,
You don't think that
in the
maybe
corner, is a bundle
you'd have
of
gotten a
excitement.
better reaction if you... I got this gun like kind of pushing into you. I'm just like,
Yep.
the crazy eyes. And it's like, you don't think it would have been better for you and for me if instead of drugging me, collaring me, and putting me in a cage, you just asked me and told me what was happening?
Amazingly, we did try a couple of times, I'm sure, but communication attempts were wrong. And yes, this was probably not the best thing to do, and we understand that. However, we do not know the full extent of your powers. I will ask that for all of us to get out of here, we work together and we can talk after.
I lower the gun. I kind of turn to walk away. And then I turn back and point the gun at you.
Mm-hmm.
And I pull the trigger. But before I pull the trigger, I raise it right above your head so it shoots into the wall above your head.
NDing up into the wall. Very good.
And I kind of look at him and go, whatever powers that you were compressing is going to be nowhere near matched to the anger of you fuck me over today.
In
I understand
both
I'm
of
a
you are
skinny
just
little
about
man.
half deaf from that.
I understand that I'm a skinny little man. And I'm not exactly scary. But I will pull all of her into me if you try and fuck me. And I will rip you apart. Okay? So, only the truth moving forward, or there's going to be problems. Thank you.
Larry leans into Deanna watching all of this and says, I don't understand, ma'am. I've seen you wear all sorts of cute collars, like, through time. Like, I mean, I guess it's only when you want to, though.
There's a difference when you choose. It's another
That's
thing
fair.
when somebody else collars you.
That's fair.
Now, I have
Gwendolyn is pulled in 6
Question.
different directions by both of these conversations at the moment, and it's kind of just a fitful ball of like talons clicking together and nervousness.
Yeah. I have 2 quick questions though.
Yeah.
This whole thing, how is my sex appeal for everyone right now?
Larry
0.
is
What?
aroused,
What just happened?
but not
I'm
because
just
of
curious.
not by what you think.
Well, as I said, Gwen is a fitful starting little. Oh my god, he's finally doing it! Oh my god, he did the thing! And then Larry distracted her with the thought of that, and just she is on the knife's edge right now.
Yeah. And Deanna will make it worse, and she'll lean in and go, "Don't say I never did anything for you."
Or she, or,
I will put one more bullet in my gun to replace the one I shot and kind of keep it at the ready like this, just awkwardly slinking back to the corner, staring at the man who has a bullet hole above his head.
I have this vivid image of Brendan Lee from The Crow.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. It needs to be raining in this elevator right now.
Isn't it always raining?
Playing in the background.
Larry's like pulling out his undercover holster to the outside of his body, just to get the fast draw on a little bit more.
No innuendo there. Just
Yeah.
Okay.
He's planning to shoot people with his gun.
Yeah.
He is no longer concerned about like the press.
That was a consideration for a moment there.
Oliver, knowing how long it takes to go down the elevator now, especially after the first time we went down.
Yep.
Do
we know how long it takes? Because the first time we went down, it took us too long.
2 minutes and 30 seconds of your life.
Yes. Oliver tidies himself up a little bit. Starts thinking about a couple of things to do with ruins and things like that. And casts healing on his ears.
I was wondering if you were going to follow up with that, but yeah, the tinnitus ring is literally deafening, and just with a casual, oh god, ow.
It's like,
please.
Yeah, and so he does that. He fixes his hearing and kind of looks to the other two.
And taking a little time with that, go ahead and roll just at +2 for that.
Yeah, certainly.
Deanna's fine. I think her hearing is either fine because magic or just shot because of all the gunfire.
I believe
I
that's
will give the benefit of the doubt that a roll at +8 for an 8.
That's fair.
Versus getting tinnitus for the gunshot. She's
That's a +2.
perfect. Yeah, Riley just rubs his head and bleeding stops.
Yep. Looking at the teacup on the ground, Oliver sheds a single tear.
It was your Diamond Jubilee commemorative.
Yes. I only have 7 more at home.
The set, it's ruined forever.
I'll have to break I'll have to break one to make them match.
Yeah.
I am heavily amused by all of these antics tonight. Okay. Unleashed. You do. For those of you who might scavenge, there is a brick of high explosives on the floor of this elevator.
Yeah, that's all the collar was, by the way.
It's literally just like a steel gorget.
It didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Yoink.
Yeah, that's absolutely a Larry move.
Yeah, it's unstable plus steep. I'll give you that. Don't get shot in it.
It's going in the bag, Ken.
It's at the back. All right.
Yeah.
This is now in the bag. We have explosives.
Think of that moment from Django at the end where he like shoots the guy who's holding the dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember the explosion that takes out the house?
Yeah.
That's comparable. Shape charges and all that, but I digress. The elevator descends, the ominous music rises. You find yourselves deeper and deeper in the elevator. A moment taken for healing magic, the internal chronometer pacing off the meters and meters of black stone rising up through the portcullis windows of this massive shaft entering the mountain bowels. And then finally, you reach bottom, and the elevator shudders to a halt. Ding! And the elevator door squeaks aside into the reeking smell of cordite, the billows of smoke and gunfire, and the chatter of further gunshots much farther away than you might expect, maybe perhaps behind a massive iron door set in the side of the heart of the mountain. The shaft ends in the tunnel that looms forward towards the reactor heart facility.
We've been here before. Oliver taps the cane on the side to light it up and goes, "Bing, Larry, if you will. You're forward. The Lady Protector said so."
Larry turns on his little mag light, clicks it onto the rail on his Commander 1911, 45 ACP, and assumes the position.
Stepping over the remains of your Zinco flashlight that broke the last time you two guys were down here.
Yeah. Larry, following through, takes that big rucksack that he's got and he slings it across the floor out the door and then follows it.
So he's eating his bag and chasing it down the hall?
Yeah. In case he needs to move faster, he doesn't want to be weighed down.
Gotcha. Portable cover and all.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a hockey bag. It's not giving anything, but it's off his body.
You eat the bag.
Yep.
You scamper up ahead, take a knee behind it.
Yep.
Sweeping clear. The room is, again, it's a long subway tunnel kind of shaft leading forward. Level concrete floor where you are. All around you, brass casings from rifles, at least. You're looking at, James, what's the standard shell in an M16?
Like a 5.56?
There we are, yeah.
Actually, for the time, we'd be looking probably at the 308.
Oh, that's right. Those dress rifles with the wood furniture.
Yeah. It's so 7.62 by 51 cartridge.
How do you...
He's a savant. He has very specific
fun
knowledge.
stuff.
I hunt with the 308 Winchester. It's a thing. That's...
Oh, okay.
He knows
Yeah,
the very, very specific history of his own firearm. But I knew he would know that as well. So, discarded all around you, thumb-sized casings all over the floor in neat groups, as if based on your casual glance at this space and your obscure skeleton skill knowledge, you're looking at squads moving forward, laying down covering for fire for each other without a lot of actual physical cover, advancing forward. Much like you are. They seem to have cleared this space for the moment.
Leans
Mr.
down.
Brooks, I want you on the flank, right flank of Bait. I'll be taking left. Damon, you're the vanguard. I need you behind. If anything comes up behind us, roast them.
She's putting us in the back.
I prefer to be there, so I'm okay with this.
Oh, you
Booty!
love it back there, don't you?
It also that I can hit them all from behind and run away before anyone can stop.
Isn't it the best? I love it back here.
We go forward.
Squad
Keep
advances.
moving. Keep it quiet.
He keeps it secret and he keeps it safe.
Larry keeps going forward on point.
Your group advances, and you come across the horrible husk of that strange protrusion you carved out of the doorway that fell from the ceiling, collapsing in a meaty pile in the center of the hallway.
Yep.
The firefight definitely worked its way along this, and you see, again, small groups of shells the small charred remains of what might have been a frag grenade going off on a hard surface, and some strange bodies. Now, here around, in cover of this big trunk of meat on the floor, there's white, pale, sickly flesh sticking up bright under your flashlight, here and there up ahead. It's got kind of a luminous blue blood, if it has anything, and they're thin, elongated human-like forms, nude, pale, sickly, bulbous heads, and large black eyes.
Brooks, do you have a read on this?
Gross.
Oh, Brooks takes out his cane and kind of moves like the arms and stuff like that, trying to kind of do a slight, I don't know what you would call it. Oh.
Yields instantly to the pressing of your staff.
Ooh.
You know the tip of your staff is iron for a reason.
I'm going to do a fairy lore, then. 7.
Ooh.
Quite unlucky.
Not as high skill, but definitely his best roll. So that was very, very specific. So these bodies definitely look like that iconic Roswell alien. And as you pry at one with your staff, the tip of it just slides right through, scissoring off a limb accidentally. And as you observe, it does it in that pushing through an illusion kind of way, where magic parts, and it's not solid where you've cut it out. It's some sort of facsimile. It's solid enough, but it definitely yields to the antithesis of Fae.
Okay.
So these look like little green men, or like gray aliens, like big bulbous eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like Roswell's.
Sir, I thought that they all went home.
I was told they went home as well.
I read the papers.
But the Americans seem to have this Area 52, I think.
I thought we blew that one up.
Oh, that's
It's
right. They
53
went down
now.
a number.
Oh. Okay.
Yes, the BPRD is aware of them. Oh dear, they must have kept a few. The bastards.
Sir, I think maybe whoever's making these things is probably trying to, like, prey on people's fears.
I think so.
Make an army, something.
I will let Riley roll IQ on this specifically.
Okay, sure.
There's nothing Americans are more scared of
Make
than
me a
aliens.
perfect recall.
Yes.
Keep up perfect recall, folks. It's annoying sometimes, but it is good when the clues add up.
Yes.
So, when you first fought the Granite Man, he was behind an illusion, and he was intended to fuck with you. Your plans got stolen. One of the BPRD staff members died. You fought the Granite Man. Had he been invisible, you'd have drawn maybe different conclusions about the whole thing.
Right.
Then later on, you had your suspicions about the High Queen and the Lord of the other port, and your first meeting with them felt weird. It did follow another encounter with the Granite Man, and it was brusque and weirdly social. And then Faust warned you specifically, you are being fucked with by parties who don't want this all to go down well.
Yeah.
This is yet another illusion deceiving another party. Not you guys specifically this time, but the dudes shooting Roswell aliens in the basement of a hidden U.S. Army facility are the U.S. Honor Guard Brigade that came with the Bicentennial Committee. Bunch of mortal men.
Ken, could I use create on a bit of iron to create some iron dust to throw over the bodies of these little
You have
things?
to sacrifice something to turn it into that.
Okay.
But,
I have some
yeah.
bullets.
I think I got you, sir.
Oh,
I think a crowbar might work.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
another large, heavy tool.
Larry does have an iron breaching tool, but he's like, I was saving this for your birthday, but maybe it'll come in handy now. And he hobbles back over to the hockey bag and he reaches in and he pulls out a perfect head-sized iron bust of Winston Churchill's head, and he hands it over to him.
Oh. Not even gonna call that a use of gizmo. It does just sound like something Larry would have.
You
Just
know
brought
I
along.
love Winston Churchill. I love it. Oh, Larry.
It's not a bronze. It happens to be iron, but that seems pretty fortuitous at this point.
It does. Oh, Larry. You know what? Lady Protector, could you just cut off a corner of it, just so we can just make, just a little bit there, just so then I can still maintain this beautiful statue.
Just turn it to dust already, nerd.
Fine, you're no fun. And Larry will turn the statue to.
How is Larry gonna do that? I don't know how to do that.
Taking a minute to get a little bit of bonus for the skill roll.
Yeah.
And otherwise, this is a relatively easy just shredding. Entropy is always easier than alchemy.
Yeah, so that's
Is that still +2 at least?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah, I think it is, yeah.
You take about a minute, you draw an actual circle in the floor, follow the ritual of what have you.
Yeah.
And after a little mental alchemy, you end up with your hand pressing down into the skull, pulling back up, and a neat pyramidal pile of iron dust is all that's left.
Perfect. I will put some into a small bag type thing. I presume we have some kind of little container or something that we could.
Got sacks.
I mean, Damon's probably got a dime bag on him somewhere. Used to come in waxed paper, I'm sure.
But I will take some of it from the hand and just spread it over.
Whoosh! Wherever you throw the dust on top of this body, disappears. It's like
and there's nothing.
Acid on cellophane just burns away. Definitely.
Well, this will be useful.
Illusory bodies.
Fantastic. Now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, pardon, Mr. Brooks, but may I have just a little bit of that powder?
Of course I can't pack it all away.
And Deanna's going to draw the sword, is going to pull out of her one of her many cargo pant-like pockets a little bit of sword oil that she uses to keep the blade sharp.
Oh yeah, good call.
Apply sword oil and then basically roll it in the iron dust.
Neat. That is an ingenious way of applying some iron filing dust to a weapon that may or may not count. But there we go. Okay. Eat this, Faye.
I'm reminded of the 1990s
flesh and illusions.
I'm reminded of the 1990s version of Spinneret, that just the sheath of the sword is just pouches all over, because that was the art style in the 90s. It's just pouches on everything.
Pouches and belts.
Pouches and belts.
Leafield did nothing good for the comic community of the mid-90s, and I stand by this. Gross anatomy, pouches on everyone.
And I mean, Final Fantasy only followed it up with belts everywhere.
Oh my god, the number of anime belts in the world.
True, but like belts are way better than pouches.
There is that.
All right.
So like
forward we go.
So hold on. Does this mean that all of the Fae's clothing is super wrinkly?
Because it hasn't been ironed.
Never been ironed.
I'm leaving. Actually, that's it. I'm done.
Iron.
It hurts so bad.
You don't have enough children to make that kind of dad joke.
He's only a cat dad. How did he do it so well?
No. I have E. So this is a little personal. I have EOD, which is early onset dad. It's where you're not a dad, but you get the same symptoms.
Oh, okay.
Oh, for sure. Just have daddy.
So you wear the Crocs, you know.
No, the fashion thankfully doesn't transfer through. It's mostly in the jokes.
Okay.
And just the mental.
No Crocs.
The mental health problem.
And no one is
all
ever
the mental health violence. Yeah.
Hard. Papa maybe, but that's it.
Oh.
Papa. I love it.
Forward we go.
Thank you, Papa.
It makes my heart hurt. However, I can just say negative 10 horse points, and I'll feel better about it. Okay. So, armed now with the bust of Sir Winston Churchill distributed among your party, and with the idea that these strange gray creatures may or may not be totally illusory, you at least have something that will violently irritate them or chop them in half, if a necessary amount of muscle needs to push through. And we sally forth.
My bullets are made of iron and lead anyway, so I was just going to shoot them, but okay.
Yeah, there's a distressing amount of lead. But high-velocity bullets haven't met their match yet. I mean, come on. What?
Question then. Does that mean that my journaling pencil is also effective?
Graphite.
It's a misnomer. It's only graphite. However, all the lead in the hair dye that you've been using over the years means your demon girlfriend may or may not be a hallucination at this point. Who knows? But
seeing what Oliver's done, Larry's gonna draw that giant ass bolo knife that he carries as well. So Larry's got a combat medic knife.
Yeah.
Like it's a big ass bolo knife that's just like wrought machete iron.
Yeah, it's not quite an axe and it's not quite a hatchet.
It's just like because little green men freak him out, or little gray aliens freak him out, and he can't get it out of his head. And he's like, what if they get close? He's got a gun in one hand and a knife in the other. And he's just...
It's the best judo position I've ever heard.
Yep.
So...
So much judo.
Oliver and the Lady Protector flanking him on either side.
Mm-hmm.
And the demon and the daemon taking up the rear. You send them forth. Following that trunk of flesh and the bodies of the grays, you head deep into that dark section of the granite where the rotting away of the industrial equipment and the rubber lines and the piping that leads to the massive door. You can hear still the gunshots chattering ahead of you in small controlled bursts, but it tapered off. And as you're making that last bit of distance where into the flashlight the vault door shows up, you hear the last gunshot and realize after about a 10 count, it might be the last gunshot ahead. The door is open. Ajar about 4 feet, sitting hinged out of the wall.
It's a big jar.
Negative 10 horse points. But the door itself isn't designed to hinge outward. It's been pried back by some massive force. There's spalling around the edge where some sort of explosion went on, but otherwise it looks forced from the inside at one point. Some strange marks in the steel, some gouges, some deep cracks. There's been some violence here. Beyond, you smell raw earth, cavernous, moist air, and that smell of fresh gunpowder in the air still bright and hot.
Can I just make a single roll? And my question will be determined. It's a hidden lore, demon lore. I just want to roll it first. If I could have the permission to just go, this is what I think it might be afterwards, because I have a certain guess here. I know it sounds strange, but
you know what? I'll allow it.
I got one under. We're walking into hell, aren't we?
The Faustian descriptions of the layers of hell are spot on.
Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. Walking into hell, then, I guess. Oliver just goes, well.
Wait, isn't that the British way?
Hello, high water.
Last one alive, lock the door.
So, on the other side of this door, just your flashlight dipping into that slice of darkness that leads into hell itself, there is a figure standing, surrounded by bodies. He's wearing a bulletproof vest, a completely modern Velcro down straps. He's got spare magazines, about half of them gone. He's currently unjamming his rifle, one of those M16s made with plastic and steel. It's super nice. But otherwise, he's in a slick down kind of like unitard uniform underneath, combat boots, a tactical frag helmet, and he looks up as you guys and your light come around the corner, and he holds up one hand, and he says, "Stop. I serve the High Queen."
What's her name then?
Bootylicious, obviously. And he points at the Lady Protector and gives her a wink.
Her actual name, please.
Larry was going to shoot him through the hand.
Jesus Christ! Tactical diplomacy! Is he resisting after this exchange with the Lady Protector, or is he actually following through with this violence?
But
he's got a second to aim. I'm giving you.
Larry is literally. Larry's
going
to aim at his hand because he's a dude. None of this is real. Everything is suspect, and that's a really ballsy claim to make for a dude dressed the way he is.
Yeah, I'll give you
He'd have
that.
better fashion sense if he was serving any High Queens.
I am the mortal champion of the High Queen map. I am her knight.
Okay.
I would like to call in my favorite High Queen.
So I struggled with this about 2 weeks ago while we were in GCS. We had just finished the third session. We were all debating what it was. And I'm like, yes, you can absolutely call in a favorite queen map. I know it's baked into GURPS somewhere. Pro tip for those of you playing GURPS at home, it's not a modifier. The advantage is called favor.
Cool.
Where you can buy a one-time use favor of an ally or an encounter or something, some NPC generated interaction where you spend the points and it's at 1/5 usual cost, and you get an ally, in this case, for a short time to lend a hand, specifically because you've set up the roleplay interactions to do it. And after Lady Diana ended up flashing the High Queen of Air and Darkness,
the High Queen of Air and Darkness removed my top. I did not.
I mean, the wind, and she's the queen of the dark wind. That would.
It's vectors. I mean, you got to consider angles and
she
wind
has
resistance.
magical plausible deniability, as well as you were kind of down for that. She's all caked with that too. But I digress. The long and short of it is, folks, it's called favor. It's not a modifier, and I nearly lost my mind trying to find this damn advantage in GCS. But calling in that favor, you know, true facts. This man is telling the exact truth, and you feel it in your heart, in that same place where you feel when the sword talks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a point in his favor right there that she can vouch for. But by all means, draw down on his hand.
Yeah. Do I have any sense that Larry is moving? Actually, no, I'm behind Larry. So yeah, I'll absolutely hand.
Big strong hand
disarm if I have to, just push the shot.
Larry's not opening a shot. Larry's taking aim at this person because he is a suspicious individual, and Larry's doing what he's trained to do, which is point center mass and wait to squeeze when they start getting shifty. If he's not advancing or being sketchy, Larry's not shooting him.
Okay, fair. You're at a dead standstill with the man.
Yeah.
He has, to his credit, he's only got the one hand up. He's holding the rifle with his other hand. You can see from the distance, it's jammed open. He's got a shell just jammed in the exit because it's an M16 in the 1970s.
Yep.
I mean, unless you were in Vietnam and it was getting rained on, it couldn't be any worse for it.
Yeah. He's got a beat on him. That's all.
What about Oliver and Damon's vibe on this?
Oliver is looking to the fact that Lady Diana just said no. So he's going, okay, there is something that she knows that we don't. I'm trusting her.
I'm standing at the back wearily, just kind of prepped
Just
and waiting for
Nearly out of sight. Absolutely
any.
not in the line of fire. Perched behind
Yeah,
her.
like if something goes down, I can do something, but I've seen the big lady give approval, and as much as I don't like her, she seems to have some sort of knowledge.
So the standoff holds for a few heartbeats, and then he raises his other hand. You'll excuse me.
What are you doing here, soldier?
I have been trying to get to the heart of this issue, literally carving into the heart of darkness. What have you folks been up to upstairs?
I mean, it seems
Your
like you
boss?
already know that.
Oliver was just figuring out what this accord actually is what we are doing.
Oh, you're the political brigade. Okay.
Yes.
Aside from a bad idea, apparently.
We have many voices telling us many different things, and now we have information about nuclear fae.
Ah, that would explain that. Yes.
Yes, could you please explain further what you know about it?
Please excuse me. My name is John Nelson.
Ah, John Nelson, Oliver Brooks.
And this big lady?
Deanna.
I'm Larry.
Good to meet you, Larry. And why do I see two more shadows around the corner?
They're all
That's-
Vanguard.
That's a demon and a goth.
Yeah,
Not in that order, though.
head counts right then. My name's John Nelson. I'm from Los Angeles. I invented a little thing called SWAT.
Like for bugs?
No, I mean special weapons and tactics.
Oh.
Oh, the riot shield people.
Yeah, the guys who goes in with shotguns and make sure that the hostage situation goes down. Okie dokie.
Gotcha.
People
Cool.
be crazy in Los Angeles, I tell you what.
I can only imagine.
Well met. Just slip back a moment here. And he kind of steps out of the doorway back into the room before the hell portal. Well met and good day to you, the ensemble of the court, I suppose. So does that mean you five represent the US of A?
We
No.
represent the BPRD. We are the neutral party in this situation.
Good.
With the moderators, mediators.
Mediators, very good, yes.
Moderators go in a nuclear engine.
Well, I was about to say, is this about to be a nuclear engine?
Yes, as your description really sinks in. I was wondering, well, I could see through the illusion, but it's still a fuckload of these guys, and I wasn't expecting them. And I'm chasing down the honor guard that still think there's nothing left, I don't think, ahead of them. So they're going to the heart of whatever's ahead of here. Okay.
Chances that they live?
Negligible, but they could also just cause enough damage that it would be a headache for the rest of us as well.
All right,
Understood.
I'm going to play one last game here.
Shoot.
What in the Queen's name is going on here?
I
wish
think you've been bamboozled.
Yes. If I hear that word one more time, I will shoot somebody.
Bamboozled.
Watch out, Damon. Watch out. He's got a vendetta.
Oliver just turns his head to the Lady Protector and just goes,
Just see.
Do it. Coward.
Oh, Glenn is just chuckling it up in the back too. Oh, good.
Sir.
Like, is there
It's-
something wrong with that word? I feel like it fits.
It's like shenanigans. The next person that says shenanigans is going to get pistol whipped.
Pistol whip, yeah. No,
Yeah.
What's that place with all that crap on the walls that you like to eat at, sir? Shenanigans? Sir,
Um,
I feel like we got maybe provided some bad intel and we're set here to bring everybody together, and that's a really bad idea.
Right.
And we shouldn't let that happen. And
No.
one of the parties, probably the American party, needs to be dealt with.
Oh, I understand this, but there's apparently many layers to this. I'm just trying to make sure that this is all making sense.
Well, if he's
if I
the
can
Queen's
interject.
champion,
Yes.
yeah.
I came at the behest of the Queen of Air and Darkness to scout, really. I mean, she sent me as an entourage ahead to ensure the facility would be safe for her, of course. I've been in her service for several years. I mean, it's a hell of a job offer. It's got a 401k. I mean, health insurance is...
Dental?
Have you ever... Dental, right? It's amazing how motivating that is. And really, it paid for that property that I've got. It's overlooking the bay. And anyway, she sent me out to take a look.
Yes.
So I arrived just after you folks did, and I have been making myself unseen. So after you descended down, I did a bit of a scout. There was this massive granite, not a semiraculum, but he was definitely acting in accordance with the wishes of the massive spirits and all that, but he's not a fey spirit himself.
Oh, like one of Dave's guys.
Dave! You met Dave!
Yeah, he came to
Yeah.
tell us that all of this was a terrible idea, man.
He's been out to the barbecue a couple times in Los Angeles. Like, dude always brings choice steak. It's always bison, but like they're huge steaks. He's a great guy.
Yes.
But Dave said a couple things about this whole meeting.
He said it was a bad idea.
Yeah. And to and I quote, get the fuck off the mountain. Like, why are you here? Go away, get it off, get it off, get it off.
He was blunt. Was he disparaging at the same time?
I mean, he patted me on the cheek consolingly like I was a small child, so I mean,
He's really tall.
Yes.
To be fair, you are very short.
And when you hit
About
a
average.
certain age,
So I was scouting about while you were delving down here, and things have been afoot. I encountered a Simuracula that may or may not have been attempting to impersonate the High Queen. I dealt with it as I needed to and moved on. And then while you guys were skimming about with some sort of dream creature that was fighting staff members, there was a guy with he had one of those banker boxes full of vomit. He threw it and he really tried, but nothing.
Wait a minute, you fought them?
No, I stayed to the darkness. I got the fuck out of the way of whatever was going on there. I didn't want to interpose as the knight of the lady. It would have complicated things politically.
Huh.
Ah.
yeah, because don't engage if you did. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, don't make enemies of my queen.
Yeah.
Really, at the point where it was the other committee showed up, was that actually Zombie George Washington?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, I was perched up on the second level with a scope, watching the whole ordeal. Kind of ridiculous.
There was a weird hatred I held for that zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah, something about
I'm from LA, and even I found it kind of drab and insulting. I mean, he was puppeting around.
He was fun.
Yeah. Did you deal with it, at least?
Yeah.
The nail on that? Good.
He's Ash, mostly.
Ooh, nice.
and goo of some sort. But anyway, we probably should be following these American soldiers.
Yeah, they're just a little bit ahead of us. I'm sure they're shit up ahead. But we are really getting into the seat of power of whatever it is that these guys built this place upon. Did you get the vibe that we're going into a locus of power? Because I'm
Yes, almost a layer of hell, if you will.
Yeah, I couldn't put a pin on the flavor, but that's close. I'm sure. I'm
reading. Well, what was the layer? In between wrath and wrath.
No, it feels a bit like Wrath. Yeah.
Yes.
It's all untold violence upon unsuspecting innocents. And
Wrath.
Did you guys see a guy's heart like ripped out of his body up in the comm section?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely Wrath power.
They wouldn't let me toss his body off the catwalk.
Was that Temenos or Apollyon, boss? The layers of hell?
Larry's random encyclopedic knowledge of totally obscure facts brought to you by the fact that he is a jack of all trades talent.
The first one. Let's go.
Go.
All I know is that it's not dis.
The academic in me just... There's layers to that joke. Dear God. Anyways. Okay. So your man in the SWAT gear abandons his totally fucked up M16, and he pulls out from the back of his vest just a pump action Ithaca. Oh no, sorry, not a pump action Ithaca, but the Ithaca Featherlight with the flap handle.
Oh, for sure.
From Terminator 2. Yeah. It's a light hunting shotgun that you can put a full tube of shells into that just got slipped up the back of his suit. He's like, well, I'm ready to go. Lead the way, Lady Protector.
Okay. Rotate forward. I'll take point.
Ma'am?
Was that a questioning ma'am, or was that a ma'am go ahead?
No, that was a yes, ma'am. Larry's not good for walking into hell first. He's certainly fine for walking into hell second.
So Deanna will, one of the very rare occasions where she's not quite sure what she's getting herself into, or I'm not quite sure what I'm getting into, will switch the grip on the sword around to have it mostly protecting herself and ready to defend in a very historically inaccurate reverse grip, and layer her pistol over top.
Is she Special Forces reverse gripping like a knife the entire holy sword?
Yes.
I fucking love that.
This is my tool. I will use it how I see fit.
GURPS, let's get into the minutia of proper handling and what have you. You're just getting a +1 for style for the moment. Just bear in mind, folks, that's there.
All I'm picturing is Solid Snake with a broadsword right now, doing
Solid Snake with a giant sword, glowing with holy fire. Like, what the hell?
She's got a sword.
Is the holy glow a little green because of the iron on it?
Yeah, I'll definitely say that's happening right now. The hissing, popping kind of metal burning in a campfire is going on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, you cast Green Flame Blade.
Yeah, I did.
We've done it, folks. We've come full circle back to Dungeons and Dragons again. I don't know. She's not getting D8 extra damage, though, because this is GURPS.
What? It's a D6 extra damage.
D6.
Why is it on? It's on fleek. I don't get it.
We move forward.
Delving into the darkness of hell.
Head on a swivel, the sensing evil constantly.
Yeah, there was always that presence at the back of your mind where Damon and your ex are standing, but literally all around you, the overwhelming sense of you are in an evil, dark, focused center of pain and anguish and wrath, violent wrath. You're really at home here. The sword is vibing hard. Like, you didn't think you would, but then you showed up and then the music's just got a beat.
It just did the bass drop.
In a dubstep kind of way, yeah.
Yeah, in a dubstep way. It just...
Things just got good.
So you slip into hell. The 5 of you, plus your new SWAT tactical member, slipping in, covering each other's 6s, heads on a swivel, guns out, and not just on your arms. A single mag light illuminating a slice of the darkness. The cavern around you expands upwards into darkness, and the walls stretch further and further away to the edges and the periphery of the Maglight's lake. You stay roughly in the center of this tunnel, dipping downward. The floor itself goes from a level traverse to a slope down. The earth itself, soft and yielding, scoops of soft, spongy gravel like white rocks lifting and bouncing as every step reveals more and more human bones. And you realize you've transitioned to this violent ossuary of splintered femurs and cracked skulls. And all of you think back to that time in Paris. Might have been foreshadowed. Who knows? But the slope slips downward, and the Maglight's extent is just at the edge of the darkness of the walls on either side, and these massive black stones lift up and out, creating little streaming shelves of bones leading downwards. And downwards, you hear furtive voices. You look at each other to hush whatever's happening between each other, and then you realize it's not coming from your group, it's coming from someone else ahead of you. Hissing, secretive voices, paranoid, scheming little furtive bursts of noise. It's gotta be up ahead. I don't know. Are they still coming out of the darkness? No, I haven't seen them in a while. Come on, man, we gotta keep going. But the radio's been dead for like 10 minutes. I mean, he hasn't said shit. What do you think? George Washington's gonna come on the radio now? Come on, we have our orders.
I wish I still had that radio.
And ahead of you in the darkness, you can see tiny tactical lights fitted, kind of like weak, heavy battery lights strapped to the ends of small guns, sweeping and clearing ahead of you. There's at least 4 of those pinpoints of light.
Are they moving towards us or away?
Away, ahead of you, down this strange ossuary tunnel.
Larry, lights off.
There he caps it.
And Deanna will slide her aviator sunglasses on to hide the shine of her eyes.
Right, because that is a source of light.
Yeah.
Almost forgot. And I'm like, wait, why does she need sunglasses at night? Oh, because she's that cool, right?
Yeah.
But it's also practical.
And Deanna's going to pick up the pace just a little bit to slowly close in on.
Group stealth check. Everybody, if you don't have stealth in your character sheet, just roll against your dexterity for me. But let's see what everybody's stealth is like.
Can I do a bullshit thing?
How bullshit is this?
Can I click my heels together because Oliver might have put whisper on his shoes?
And out of the nouns and verbs he knows, how is he whispering himself?
Create whisper on his shoes.
That is fucking sneaky. Go ahead and roll against that for me, please.
Okay. So I will do create first. 9. That is
Succeed
1
by
under.
5.
Fucking hell, Diana.
Succeed by 1.
Good job, Larry. You don't immediately kick a skull down the hill.
Whisper. There it is.
What's it like having Larry absolutely untrained in everything forever?
I can put more points into judo.
Did you just 9 and then 4?
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes. Hi.
He did.
Is that 11 just a match on dex, or did you also... You had stuff too, right? On your skills?
Who?
Damon.
Oh.
Oh, me? I was
Oh.
one.
Oh, you were slightly muted for a second there, but it faded in. That was weird.
One
So
under.
sorry.
Very good. So, out of all of you, you're all solidly vibing to the quiet. And then Oliver kind of disappears. from all of your senses until you stop, swivel your head to look straight at him, and realize he's just absolutely silent and quiet, dead still.
Still standing like he normally does. He's not crouching or anything. He's just like,
Yeah, he's kind of like adjusting his bulk. He's like trying to comfortably stand still on a hill of bones, and they're cascading down and away from him. But he's like a black and white photo in the dark. It's like a movie from the 20s. No sound comes out of this guy.
And he holds up a little sandwich board that says, "Train's coming." Oh no!
oh no!
Eek, help me.
Cheer.
I
He does
actually
look like
become
an intermission
black.
advertisement for a sandwich company.
Yeah, I actually turned black and white, and the bowler is just like perfect. And I go,
We do start to hear piano for some reason, though.
He grows a Chaplin mustache, and he's like, "Nope, nope, nope."
The lightest little plinking of music accompanied you as you stealthily stalk down the hill to this other squad of men ahead of you. And you guys get up within, I would say, 10 yards before anything changes. You come down the hill and level off on, in the dark, the only difference is the texture. You go from the crunching, shifting, pulverized bone, and down here it's like crushed dust. And you come to solider footing that still yields, like pressing your hand into a baked brownie of evil. It's yielding. There's a softness to it. The air smells slightly saccharine, but then you also taste blood and rust.
There's what, 4?
And ahead of you, yeah, 4 little bits of light. There's probably boulders or some big protrusions on the floor in between you and them, but you got a roughly clear spot about 10 yards ahead of you guys at the bottom of this hill. Suffice to say, you 5, 6 can see each other, but not much out into the darkness beyond, just around those 4 guys. And they're kind of silhouetted. They've still got those dress uniforms from upstairs, but they have the rifles out with what looks like their flashlights taped to them, and each of them is got some sort of random gear tucked on belts and strapped across them, like they pulled out lanyards and bayonets and stuff like that, just geared up before they headed downstairs. So,
ma'am, you want some light?
No. If we use light, then they'll see. Gwen, you float, right?
oh, we all float down here, honey.
Boo.
boo.
Oh, come on.
Now.
I also
Could use a
I
pop
can
filter.
also fly.
Now.
Hmm.
And
I think Deanna, as Deanna, and Deanna will know better than I will as a person, will decide a small little pecking order of how we want to pick these soldiers off or just subdue them. Because I want answers from them is really the end goal here. And I
So-
only need one person to give me answers.
The good Lord's book is somewhat fuzzy about kneecaps, ma'am, and Larry starts taking aim at the back of a soldier's knee.
Okay.
The lower half of his shadow, give or take.
Gwen, you think you can burn through 2 of them? Quietly?
Damon, I'm gonna need a little help. It's just not.
I suppose I could try.
Okay.
So are they in a line, or are they like 1 2 1 2 or 1 1 1 1?
They're kind of in a murky cluster of half-lit flashlights 10 yards away from you.
So theoretically,
You could roll perception.
theoretically, could Gwen and I not fly up above and like take out 2 behind?
I mean, that is definitely approaching from an unexpected angle. They would definitely be surprised by something like that.
Cool. I'm going to brandish my fancy Cincadilla. I don't know if that's pronounced correct or not. My little bedeviled Cincadilla knife,
Bejeweled?
and
The man
I'm gonna have those.
genuinely unsheathes the most bedazzled-looking knife you've ever seen.
Vajazzled knives.
Bedeviled.
I mean,
Devils.
it's got little red ruby garnets, and it's got like silver inlay.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's worth more
Spooky.
than what Larry's ever.
Is it like
But
a memento
anyways,
mori skeleton clutching the handle with like a death shroud over its head?
Probably it's very demony.
There's
Larry
something
owns property, sir, in America. Larry takes every one of his paychecks and buys land because they're not making any more of it yet.
Larry buys land, Damon buys mall ninja stuff. Very good.
Yeah.
So
But like,
no,
thematically appropriate ninja stuff.
yes, I'm gonna take up the knife, and my eyes are gonna go black as like, my demonic wings sprout from my back, and kind of take up towards the roof. And I'm assuming Big Lady's fine with us moving forward to take out the two.
Yeah.
Gwen, honest to God, kind of just looks like she turns into fire that's burning real low. You ever look like at a Sunday barbecue that's on its tail ends where the embers just like the eyes of Satan?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. And then just kind of a billowing smoke outline of herself. She kind of just drifts up along and follows Damon over.
Deanna will follow on the ground. If they're like on the left side, Deanna's on the right, sort of deal.
Like a maneuver.
I want each of us to swoop down and grab one, and I will use my dagger into the throat in the center of one of the guys that I'm picking up.
I love it. Considering telegraphing, all outing, swooping in, and diving, go ahead and give me knife at +3. Considering lighting and what have you. Your target's lit up and flying from above you. There's nothing in between you and it. Yeah.
I beat it by 4.
Neat. Gwen does not flub her roll. Diana, chopping man in half. Ooh, oh, are you decapitating someone that isn't expecting it?
Well, like
Not yet.
what I kind of imagine is as we like dip down and pull them up into the darkness above them, it's going to make a bit of a sound. And I feel like the people in front would it's up to you. Would they turn around and be like, huh? And see their missing
They're
people?
definitely capitalizing on the confusion in a very movie montage level of the camera pans away, pans back, and oh God, what happened? So, Deanna, your choice. Are you going at this guy with body or sword or something else?
I think my initial move is to use their like turnaround confusion to get around to the front of where they were. Because while they go, huh? I around the side, like muted.
Not a total anime villain, but I love it because you are definitely this man's personal villain. Give me another roll against stealth because you are just straight up imposing your presence.
As y'all
6.
are murdering everybody, I just want to point out that Larry's just going to find one assuming local guy off to the side. He's going to try and shoot him in the small of the back.
Larry, roll against pistol.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume distance and darkness are going to outweigh the advantage you get from the aim bonus on your gun. So straight gun skill.
That's an 8. For pistol for me, that...
Yeah, 9 or a 10.
Yeah.
Because again, folks, Larry has no points in any skills.
It's an 11.
He decided not to play GURPS, playing GURPS.
I beat by 3.
So, in the darkness, these four men, are discussing their next step. They're reloading their guns. They're looking around in the darkness. They're kind of lost. They don't know what they're doing. And then, from the darkness above them, a swooping shadow slips down. They get a half look at a pale face shrouded with hairspray and black, and this silver slip of a dagger slips into his neck, and he just careens upward into the darkness, Meanwhile, another one just kind of gets crushed under this pile of embers and darkness and just disappears as a smother into the floor. The two men left look at each other in the eyes. One of them goes as he gets shot in the kidney. It just kind of goes.
I was hoping to blow the last inch of his tailbone off.
It's blowing off his total ass.
I mean, he's probably wearing armor, but you know what's not armored?
No, that's a dress uniform, sir. He doesn't have a bulletproof plate on his butthole.
Right.
Like,
he's not running anywhere.
so the last man, who's at this point just down to a 45 long slide in gumption, stops, looks around himself, then suddenly in front of him is Diana.
Yeah, I think he's like looking around. Diana's gonna tap his shoulder on one side. And as he turns around, she'll just go, "Hi," with like the full metal gauntlet of her.
I'm not
of
going to
her
make it roll
fist.
for this because it would just be cruelty. Save his face. Okay, that is a surprise round in GURPS. Just mechanically effective. You guys have to drop on them. They can't see in the dark. They got shitty flashlights, and you can see them. Like, they were hosed. So, there's one man writhing around on the ground with a bullet in his ass, squealing because he just got shot in the tailbone. What do you guys do?
Oliver would just like to appear beside the man as he walked down the entire time, and just goes and puts his cane on his gun to lower it, and goes, "We wish to parley."
It's just the horrible pain noises that come out of him. The SWAT guy walks up behind you and just goes, "That was brutal."
BPRD at your service. For Queen and Country. Now, sir.
I'm effective.
Meanwhile, Damon's up in the rafters just eating a man.
No.
Does a body just fall from the ceiling because David?
We're not really that crazy, sir, but monsters don't normally negotiate. And when you're dealing with regular human beings, sometimes you forget that that man's butthole is not going to grow back.
Was that a consideration? Like, did you think it was got healing powers or something?
You'd be surprised at the amount of things we've fought that have healed.
Half the time when I shoot something in the face, it doesn't work. So you get a little desensitized to ultraviolence.
The SWAT knight of the Queen of Darkness just kind of looks up wherever Damon is in the ceiling, in the shadows, and just gives him a thumbs up. Kind of waves him down from up there. Kind of gestures vaguely at the carnage. And the squealing man is left squealing on the ground.
Yeah, but there was the fourth guy, correct? That we did
he's
not
the squealing on the ground guy.
Yeah.
There is also a pile of embers that Gwen is pulling herself up and out.
Right.
Is
Okay. Yes.
a literal smear that smells like somebody's engine after driving across the Mojave. Like hot metal and just remains.
Here, I'll help you with the pain, and I hold his hand, and and I just like
Just a British pat on the back of the hand.
yep, and I
Pain
will
symbol.
do some heal just to remove the pain.
Oh, so the injury's still there, but you're just numbing it.
Yeah, I'm just numbing it. He doesn't need to know he's healed.
Neat.
Not healed.
Roll against your healing rune, sir.
Sure, I can do that.
Ken, for demonstrating the GURPS system, how many fatigue points does Oliver burn when he uses magic and stuff?
For the minutia of just everyday small effects, nothing until something goes wrong.
Okay.
And then he's rolling to resist his FP reserve just getting cut.
I am also going to turn that from a minor failure to a match success.
Match success, spending a character point just
Yep.
in case. Very good.
Yep.
Oliver checks himself before he wrecks himself. And the band goes from whimpering and squealing to, I can feel my legs.
Yes, don't worry about it. It's just a slight side effect. You're fine.
People
Oh, God.
break their tailbones skiing all the time, sir.
You're
But where
good.
in
It's a
hell?
slippery slope.
Yeah.
Yes, can you tell us why you came to hell?
We were We're chasing the Greys. We had our orders. What? Aren't
From
you?
who?
Who are you people? And he squints in the darkness and he sees. Aren't you with BPRD? Aren't you the guys that were taking the meeting upstairs?
Yes, we're all very confused. It sounds like you've been bamboozled yourself. Now,
Bamboozled.
I've been bamboozled once. They locked me in a room.
Shenanigans! Bean boozled's more like it.
Oliver
Saying it.
pistol whips the guy in front of him. No,
I love it.
yeah. No, I do not pistol whip the man. I continue just to go down the questioning. Who gave you the orders?
We got our orders from
Whoa.
I have the funniest feeling that I'm missing time.
Oh God. Oliver just lets his head hit the ground. No,
It wasn't Rathborn. Was it Rathborn? No, we're chasing Rathborn? No.
Wait, what?
Wasn't Rathborn the commander dude for the American branch delegation? Because Warner was the guy upstairs that...
Point of order from the GM. Yes, Rathborn was the man in command of the honor guard of Marines that came with.
Yeah.
Question, Ken.
Yeah.
Was it George Washington who could not tell a lie, or was that Abraham? I can't remember.
Old wives' tale.
Yeah, like your
I
infinite
know.
memory reminds you of the several times you've read. This is total bullshit.
Yes, I understand that, but George Washington punched Rathborn in the face.
Just smoked him. Leveled
Just
his jaw.
absolutely
He
smoked him.
Blew.
I don't think that was Rathborn.
You might be onto something.
I don't think that was Rathborn. I think that we are truly going after Rathborn currently at the moment. Because there would have been pictures and other things in that folder that I had, probably, of people and places.
He's specifically missing from your dossier.
Oliver just silently just goes, fuck.
I guess I'll have to kill him again.
Well, I mean, isn't it... So target acquired? The monster's Mr. Rathborn?
I believe so.
Deep, further in the furnaces of hell, you hear the pilot light of a million souls igniting all at once. The howling scream of nuclear fire igniting in a riot of energy.
Atomic
And
magic.
that is where we're going to leave for the moment.
Oh.
We'll be right back, folks.
Gonna go to a break. Well, we got 7:45. Why don't we do 8:05?
8:05.
Gonna be some strategic reboots. The audio equipment yet again needs to be rejiggered.
We'll,
So sorry, that's a 20-minute break.
yeah, 20-minute break.
Roughly
Okay.
20 minutes.
Gotta be.
We gotta get things
Oof.
fixed.
Set your timers, folks. We'll
Talk
see
to
you
you
in
soon.
just a little bit.
Bye.
See you in a bit.
are you doing this evening? Oh no, you don't know what to do with yourself. Yeah.
Oh no. Give me half a sec, because I gotta add Ken in.
I'm not even on camera right now.
It'd be really funny if we were.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
just nothing, just dead air.
Yeah, it's just
'Cause-
Ken talking to himself because he's not even included in the stream.
Oh,
Oh
no.
my God.
What?
Yep.
Got it. I got it.
Yep. We're working on it.
We're dancing. We're dancing.
We're dancing.
We're dancing. Hot fix. Hot fix.
We're dancing.
Wiggles.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wow. Yeah.
What?
There it is.
What about me?
We were
I-
The
dancing.
most narcissistic answer I've ever heard. You tune us out and only come back because you thought we said your name.
Like it.
Class.
Wiggle, wiggle. Ken,
Phenomenal.
you're good now. Go for it.
Awesome. Folks, I'm so glad you're back with us.
Oh my
I'm on
God.
the correct
The
microphone.
dance.
I mean, somebody's got to have to clip that for TikTok. At least. There's 3 people. By the way, Riley, goddamn you, add me on TikTok. I added you. I'm that guy.
I
I'm that guy.
barely use it.
Well, you're going to use it all the time because I'm going to send you nothing but incessant TikTok.
You should see how many TikToks Ken sends me that I don't read.
Hold on. I haven't checked
Hey.
my TikTok messages in a while. I'm gonna do it right now. I have 56 from Ken.
And probably like 12-ish from me.
Like it's not a lie.
I've
You can't
started
verify
doing
the show.
reposts as well too, so not all of them get sent directly to you anymore. I just have stuff that I resend.
I don't go
I
on
like it.
TikTok enough. I'm on TikTok maybe 10 minutes a day.
So am I.
I like it. He's very efficient.
The game. He's
Yeah.
Oh. Yes.
Booty.
Well, where last we left our actual heroes,
You can notice that Ken doesn't sound like an asshole in a can anymore.
Now he just sounds like an asshole.
Hey, Ken, how many mics did you have plugged in, bud? 4?
Or
4. 4 mics.
I haven't beat the record.
I'm just
Pro-
gonna throw out one other thing here. You know when
Yes.
you join VDO,
Mhm.
whereas there's a thing that says, "What input am I using?"
I mean, this is the same reason I accidentally nuked my backups last week because I selected the wrong drive letter.
And you didn't learn.
I did.
Yeah.
I learned nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
As
where
it
we are.
should be.
So where last we left our GURPSy heroes, they were in the bowels of hell, and somebody just lit the furnace.
I'm gonna GURPS.
Hear me, GURPS.
I'm gonna herp.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God,
herp
the
de
fucking
derp de gerp.
delivery.
Herpin de derpin gerpin.
I fucking love and hate you guys so much. It's just equal magnitude.
You wanted
4
to
hours
play
of sleep.
a game with a weird name, man.
I really did pick the weirdest possible game name to play. We could have played Dungeon Fantasy. Why did I choose this? It's double acronym soup. So, where last we left our heroes, they were in hell, and so is the GM. You had just heard something alight, and in the far darkness, a pillar of flame is now boiling up and outwards from some darkness. And it is not a clean white flame of holy light that sheaths a holy sword. It is not an infernal brackish ember that covers the demonic goth booty. It's not even arcane light that seems to spring from nowhere like certain runic magic. This is not even a mag light. This light is radiant. You feel your skin sizzling. You can taste uranium in the air.
Larry never wanted children anyway.
Wait, you
Something
could
is
have
deeply
children?
wrong. Something is deeply wrong if you're getting laid.
No. I mean, Larry's probably getting sterile from this because
Yeah.
this is atomic fey science bullshit.
Yeah, if we learned anything about Larry, though, he has sex the average amount of times.
Yeah, exactly. The average amount of times a week.
One standard deviation of percentile.
Yeah.
I bet he goes to a fucking Bennigan's.
He just hangs out with a bunch of married couples, so he brings the average up a little bit.
Yeah.
Statistically speaking,
Once-
there are 3.5 nipples on every couple.
once a week, a couple notices Larry from across the bar.
And they're like,
I can see the radiation is already poisoning your minds. So the nuclear furnace is lit, and a column of not green flame, not white, black flame laced with the edges of something burning away at the atomic level sprung to life ahead of you in the darkness. What do? You have a prisoner, you've got your SWAT guy, and a whole sense of impending dread that perhaps Wrathborn was behind it all.
Larry has you said I did not use Gizmo for the bust of Winston Churchill earlier.
Yeah, no, that was a gimme.
All right. I reach into the hockey bag and I pull out a large metal box about yay big with a wand and a curly coaxial coming off of it. And I turn it on and starts going as a Geiger counter appears in his hand. You are muted, Ken.
Mute.
Suffice it to say that the Geiger counter max dials immediately.
Cool.
And as you wave it around, it does so in the direction of that nuclear pillar of flame.
We don't have a lot of time here, folks. So let's be quick about it.
Question, Ken.
I can think of 2
Deanna-
people who will survive this.
Yeah, okay, never mind. Question answered.
By default, a demon from hell who does not give a shit, and her ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Larry.
Larry's
going to
would...
get the statistically average number of tumors.
Exactly. He's not going to die the quickest. He's going to die an even amount of, or an average amount of time.
On we go. Let's deal with this and be done.
So, selling forth, Oliver Brooks leading the charge into the Pillar of Flame.
Yep.
Very good.
Walking like a fucking legend.
The SWAT man follow, and he cometh behind you. The prisoner just left to his own devices behind you. As you walk away, the panacea of his pain disappears, and he's suddenly racked with it yet again, and he sputters and spasms on the ground.
Question.
Yes.
This undulating radiation pulsing out over everything, is it magically enhanced? I have magic resistance. I need to ask.
Around Larry is always this general sense that things are glancing off of and away from him.
Mhm.
Right now, Larry has a visible Chernkov radiation effect off of just a gimlet light off the edge of you looking at him. You can see a light blue glow coming in waves, like solar radiation wafting across him. Just enough, just a candlelight's worth, but something's reacting.
Huh. Best be quick.
So, boulder to boulder, sifting through this field of broken stone, you weave your way towards this column of flame, and there's no heat. There is only light, fury, and darkness. And every time the view of it dips between the boulders, all of your exposed skin flashes with warmth. Phantom heat kind of billows past you. Bits of metal on your body. Anybody wearing any jewelry, buttons, definitely the brass buttons on a good coat. Things are getting oddly hot and smelly, and things are degrading physically as you move. It is violent decay, and you find yourselves cringing into the darkness of the shadows just even as you approach this column of light. And then finally you round past what feels like the millionth boulder, and you enter a field of open space lit by this column of light.
Yo.
I'll switch the view and roll 20 over so you can see vaguely what I'm going to describe here. So I know it's going to affect your choices in the future here. So
I will adjust our view here for a moment.
For the viewers, yeah. And so for those of you playing the home game, they've come to this barren spot, billowing up out of the ground, which lit by this eldritch light, you can see now is a spongy kind of fungoid growth, like wedged columns of coral flesh bursting up out of this ossuary dust. And heaped up in a mound of it is this column. At the base of that, down deep in the light, kind of coming up out of that coral protrusion, is a shadow of a shadow. A darkness that's only defined by the edges of the black around it. And it's a body in a violent repose, arms and legs down, hovering up above with a head peeled back, but it's bulky and charred, and bits of it you can see kind of crumble and boil up into this column. And off to the other side, in a much more specific to hell motif, there's just two facing curved horns and a sparkling portal of red energy billowing in the air between them, just off to the side. Etched into the face of that is a whole bunch of runes and dark speech, eldritch looking signs, and you can hear a man's voice pipe up from the shadows behind it. So you've come. Good. I thought I lost you in Paris.
Oh,
I thought we killed that feller.
I thought we did as well.
Yeah.
Damon, your demon girlfriend, she was supposed to do... She put a hole in the feller.
Sorry, who's this?
There's
The
a little...
voice, the voice coming out of that darkness is very familiar. You heard it upstairs when witnessing the granite man smash whatever it was that was dealing with the clerks. And you heard it years ago when the bulk of your encounter in the Paris catacombs was chasing a mad francophone necromancer.
Well, that I wouldn't know this. I wasn't there.
Gwen was.
So sure, but I kind of call out and I go, "Sorry, who are you?"
I am memory.
I don't have a memory of you, so I don't think that's true.
I'm pretty sure the BPRD file on this feller said his name was like Norbert Douglas or something like that. Like it was really real egghead.
Yes. No, but he worked at a grocer, didn't he? Out in it wasn't even Paris. It was outside of Paris.
Yeah, it was like a podunk. Got a penchant for like raising cats and farm animals from the dead, and you know.
Yes.
That little the Weasley man with the
yeah. He had a bit of a nose to him, a bit longer.
Yeah, like a rat, like a
Little
possum. He was really like a possum.
Yes.
In a coat.
The mortal knight of the Queen of Air and Darkness is looking at the two of you and just, what?
Yes.
The fuck are you?
Norbert. That's right.
It was a long time ago.
Yes,
Don't
I
worry
do
about
remember
it.
him
Apparently.
putting a hole in his chest. However, I do remember.
You remember. You remember
Oh.
perfectly. He did die.
Didn't take
You
though,
handled
'cause-
the body. You did the autopsy. You were there.
But he was a necromancer, and of course, necromancers have stupid ways of staying alive.
I wonder if he ate one of those like weedly tadpole things that grows into other bodies. The big red guy dealt with him once. Yeah.
Yes. Oh no.
Who knows?
What is more immortal than a memory?
Apparently, you've never
Cockroaches.
heard of.
I forget stuff all
You've
the
also-
time.
I was going to say you've never heard of Alzheimer's, have you?
Wait, who is this guy?
Larry's like, that is so good. I need some whiteout so I can write that on my gun.
Lady Diana is definitely hearing the voice of a man dead in the catacombs 10 years ago. She's also hearing more, and your evil sense is tingling. More so than just the fact that you're standing in hell, but there is a presence here that you remember, a taste in the air, a specific flavor of it.
Yeah, it's not ringing a bell.
Ken, the area around us.
Squeeze cheese.
Now, we've got some light down by this feller, or by that glowing mound, and off to our side on the right side of the map that I'll show off here in a moment.
Yeah.
We don't have any trouble seeing at this point, correct?
Yeah, no, you guys are lit as brightly as a clear moonlit night at worst here. Like everything is in stark shadow and pale luminescence, but it's clear.
These areas of the map, do they provide, like, are they chest high, or are they mounds?
About as tall as you, jagged up and downs. Give or take.
Possible cover for tactical applications. Like Larry's going through BPRD
years
training.
ago. Yeah, perhaps 1,000 years ago, these were edifices to some darkness that grew here in the depth of this mountain. Perhaps man once trod below that mountain and sought out the darkness that whispered to them in the night. But
are they tall enough for Larry to have a poop behind when we're done?
Absolutely, you could pop a squat off the back of one of these suckers, and if you're looking for a tactical advantage, hopping up on those mounds would give you height.
I like it. Cool. Sir, this seems wiggy. Ma'am, orders?
Oh, it has been too much fun. Absolutely fucking with you people.
I think you pissed off a mountain, sir.
I don't catch what you're putting down.
Mm-hmm.
It's all led to this. All of this time spent back and forth, parlaying uselessly with mad gods who will simply be crushed beneath the heel of the true gods of our time. Necromancy. Necromancy was only a gateway. Describe a new atomic fire.
Did you make George Washington do a dance? He calls out into the cavern. Was that you? Because like that was funny, but a little sad.
I made you see what you needed to see. I took away sight where you didn't need it. I made mortal men think enemies lie behind every corner, and I simply got you all to open the doors I could never get through myself.
I mean, we're not Canadian, but we're pretty polite. We'll usually hold the door for folks.
And you all brought me here. I find that so much more devilish than it all. I've been with you the whole time.
Who are you, Sam Reich?
Oh, today would be a good pen pal to him. No, I've been with you since Paris. And you almost got away with it. You almost left without. You, Damon, you were the trickiest. You took 2 tries.
I don't quite understand what you're getting at here.
Gwendolyn at this point goes, "Yeah, I don't get it either. What the fuck is he talking about?"
The paper,
The briefcase.
the briefcase, skin.
Think it was his skin?
No, but it was a Parisian body.
Gesundheit.
The skin was harvested from the remains of a saint.
So, let me clarify here. And Larry puts on his full unassuming local guy. And he's like, so we're in hell. And we
Yep.
brought the body of a saint to hell, powered by the power of an atomic necromancer.
Yes, we did.
And there's glowing gates over there, and there's weird mushrooms that don't look like they're in any of the books that I got in my bag.
Can I roll for an intelligence check for Oliver to kind of realize, Oliver's a smarter man than me.
Absolutely. Oliver has stats much higher than you do. That's totally fine.
8. I believe my intelligence is a 12.
Yeah.
It's obscure, but Oliver knows that magic can tap into the gnosis of humanity in certain capacities. So a necromancer of this description with these weird gloating moments could have put himself necromantically into all of you, not haunting you as a ghost, that would have twigged right away, but rather hiding in a memory. Thaumatologically speaking, it's possible, but he would also need to be brought to a locus of power that he could tap into, like an unclaimed magical edifice built over a non-specific portal to hell, and using the power of that place, resurrect himself.
I think Larry got saddled with the memory of this guy getting bullied as a child. Not that I condone that, but this guy's a dick. So
I
what you're
mean-
saying is we need to leave. Cool, done.
Oliver got the memory of the worst places to get any kind of high tea and other accoutrements and things like that. Just the worst restaurants. Like, you know when they say 1 star, but it was to cover up the health inspector's grade?
Yeah.
Yeah, those kind of places.
One of those places that starts a Yelp review with the letter C that comes on their food grading and it's in the window.
Yes.
Yeah.
Deanna got
It's-
saddled with the memory of a very, very nice poop that he had once.
And he's like, I wish I had friends to show this to, but I don't.
It was a ghost one. Like he didn't even have to wipe after. It was just clean.
Jesus
Paper came back clean.
Christ.
Such a
I
shame.
love it. What memory did Gwen get saddled with? Because she's the one that died, that fucking murdered him. Mac, what do you think?
I mean, I can only assume that the memory that Damon at least got was probably some weird childhood memory.
Some
because of
obscure
his weird
dark moment of his
childhood.
life.
He didn't think anything of it and just figured out that must be my own memory. Like, something real weird.
Mhm.
Like, I'm going to assume that this guy was a squirrel burner.
He got memories of bee stings.
Oh, he had one of those horrible, like, Stand By Me moments. And he's taking his revenge on nature for the rest of his
I
life.
was thinking more Nicolas Cage, where he's like, not the bees.
Wicker Man references. We've come down to Wicker Man.
We have.
Never seen it.
Ooh, you
could watch it on TikTok. It's fine.
You could really just watch that one GIF of him screaming the bees.
And
It
you
looks
know
like
exactly.
it dark seagulls into him saying they're in my ass. Anyway. Anyway. So yeah, the memory of a necromancer living on in the living participants of his death ritual, being resurrected by being brought to a locus of power later on in years where he could finally utilize that, consuming your memories in the process as part of his resurrection. Living on as a mimetic ghost.
So what you're saying is we need to leave.
But he's fleshy now, right?
Well, you're pretty sure the runes carved in those horns in the floor over by the portal are fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got some kind of corporeality to him. Also, you can sense him. So there's a definite nail in his coffin there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we need to find the man. Oliver just so the room's pretty lit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the
There's
room upstairs was lit.
Yes.
I mean,
sorry. This room is illuminated.
This room is
That's better.
as illuminated as you can see right here. The shadows of darkness are just the looming bits beyond.
Oliver spins his barrel. So the he goes to the next bullet, which is create air. And I'm going to shoot it at the portal here to try and just disrupt any kind of magic in the area by just blowing apart.
Just blasting a gust of air out there.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, basically just trying to just hit the portal or around the portal, so then maybe something will happen and just start this shindig off, because Oliver wants to kill this man again.
Oliver's sense of duty has been offended.
Yes.
Perfectly fine.
I mean, he's gonna be dead again. That's not a question.
Yes.
The gunshot goes off without a hitch. I will need skill rolls versus magic.
You got it.
You
6.
got it.
6 for you, sir.
Very good. So, Oliver just does the shame meme.
Yep.
Just blasts it off. And a torrent of wind follows with the gunshot. The shockwave of the bullet itself amplified out a dozen times. And the billowing shadows disperse and coalesce, and standing there is the body of a man revealed, forcing himself to hold tight and not get blasted away.
I actually did not expect that to work.
I mean, Larry's here. A statistically average amount of time. Something's got to work.
Yeah. Like, well. Oh. Well then.
Bloop. He's just there beneath the two portals, kind of like
does he look
forcing
like
his billowing, shadowy form to like stand still underneath. And
well, does one of you want to kill him?
I think Larry is just gonna yeet something in his pack.
Larry steps up beside Damon, and he says, "Got a light?" And he pulls up the explosive collar that I picked up and threw in the bag. And Ken, remind me on GURPS, because it's been a while. Throwing something based on
your strength and its throwing skill.
Okay.
Throwing would be Dex easy. So you're looking at pretty much the same level as most of ours.
My throwing is a 12.
And you're aiming at him or the place he's standing at?
So this looks like it's rippling out with, hot energy of bullshit.
Yeah. There's power being coalesced there, which wasn't blown away by the magic bullet. The shadows around it that were coalescing there were the wizard hiding behind it.
Yeah. So if I try and yeet this big bomb in my hand into that area, I'm going to trust that either that magic is going to try and ignite it, or somebody else is going to do it for me.
You know what? That is not the worst bet. Distance 15 though. One sec here. I have to do quick math.
My
Okay,
fire range is only 10.
The one caveat I have against GCS and for GCA 4 is GCS doesn't give you the classic GURPS sheet. GCA does.
Mm-hmm.
The specific foible with that is that the range distance table is conveniently on the back of the sheet. I'm Googling quickly what the sheet looks like.
Understood. I like it.
I can't hit it with flame, but I can shoot it, I guess.
That should
prevent
work.
you from hitting it with fire?
Or Gwen can do it, or Ollie can do it, or somebody can do it.
My
Do they
fire
ever
only
have
is
like
a 2 by
a
3 cone.
What's the length of your cone again? 10 yards?
10 by 3.
That's 10 squares.
I will say almost and close enough always works with hand grenades.
Yes. Because isn't each hex 1 yard? Yeah.
Why are we using hex?
Because it's GURPS.
Because you had me at hex grid. Anyways.
Neon, I agree.
Yeah.
God damn, speed
Yeah.
range table took way too long. To
Riley,
Cubes.
you shut your whore mouth.
Phenomenal. Love cubes.
You can
Yeah.
you can do 3-dimensional cubic volume way better in hexes. Anyways, I digress. It's not for a discussion for right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so aiming at a square, that distance, it's actually Larry's throwing skill -1,
Cool.
and then it's going to be horseshoes and hand grenades past that, but there's a chart.
That's beat by 1.
Nice.
Perfect. And does somebody want to try to like ignite the explosives along the way, or because you bandied about a lot of suggestions, but what's everybody's initial reaction to seeing Larry chuck a brick of Semtex at the Dark Wizard?
Above board, Larry pulled out a bomb and looked at everybody and said, "You got this? You got this? In case it doesn't blow?" Huh!
And fucking yeeted it. Yeah.
And yeeted it. Because for all I know, that giant column full of eldritch energy and heat and pain is gonna ignite something flammable.
Maybe. Yeah. He's banking on statistically average somebody's going to do something.
If not,
I mean, if it doesn't, we can all just shoot it once, right?
Yeah. Perfect. All right.
Oliver just takes his umbrella out and opens it.
It just mildly takes cover.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So passing the buck once. Anybody?
I guess if nobody else will, Deanna will I guess
Well, I
take...
wanted to wait to see if it actually blows up or not.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The wizard coalesces. Oliver's shot, making the wizard try and stand still. Larry takes the hint, chucks a high explosive at him, and straight up just lands it at his feet.
Well, then I think we should all start blasting.
So
The GM rolls,
So I start blasting.
brick lands, and everybody can now roll initiative. For probably the first time in this game, I think, but everybody, no, second time.
Second time.
1d6 plus your character's basic speed. Keep that fraction on it. It helps us keep initiative tracked out.
Okay. Oliver. Wow, actually, Oliver actually did okay.
Oh, and mechanically speaking, Larry, thanks to combat reflexes, I'm gonna add 2 to everything you guys do here because he started combat by throwing a fucking bomb.
Do we want high or low?
Essentially high. We're tracking initiative downwards, but
Cool. I got
maxed yours.
11.5. Yeah.
Jesus.
My. I do not have great number. Yeah, no, I got an 8. I think.
I also noticed that Oliver rolled 3d6.
Sorry, what was it again? Just a
Roll.
d6?
1d6 plus your basic speed.
Oh, plus my basic speed. Oh, okay, so 9. I did 1 better. Let's go. Let's go and beat up a wizard. Do 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 do.
It's time to kill the wizard.
The wonderful Wizard of Dead.
Yep.
Because
1d66.
Because of all the horrible things he did. Da, 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 da.
1d66 SWAT.
Ken, you're muted. Ken, you're
Maybe
muted.
that's a 1d66.
Hey, Ken, is our SWAT guy in initiative with us?
Yes.
Okay.
He's going on a 9, not a 14. Typos are the best sometimes.
I like it. So, I think we need
Some battle music.
some battle music. We're gonna use some.
Oh, we gotta get the battle music out.
Oh, yeah,
yeah, guys.
we gotta go down.
Oh, yeah, don't you know it.
Gotta get that battle music.
Double down there with a
Why
honey.
is everybody giving me the bad Midwest accents that I could not
Oh,
nail?
don't you? You've angered the big bad guy now, bud.
This is what I was trying to do for Dave last session. I am so sorry if it turned out any other way. I'm sorry it went Bostonian for a while.
Isn't that a museum?
I think that's a Smithsonian museum. We've got 2 Smiths in the party. No relation.
That we know of.
You know what? Probably.
You could be my daddy.
I mean,
You could
You
be
didn't
my
even
Engel,
have to
and I
ask.
could be your Devil. Okay, so Deanna on a 13.5 with all modifiers, with Larry giving you the the sign, and Larry for some reason having the presence and gumption to get shit moving here. You're there. He's
For the one who took
12 or 15. He's a decent amount of yards away. What do you want to do with yourself?
I am gonna take. Wait, can I like move stuff? Is that what's going on now?
You can move a number of hexes equal to your basic move.
Okay, basic.
But otherwise,
5.
yeah, 1 second
Okay.
GURPS rounds, and it's essentially an action or a move, or if you do them together, you're sacrificing your defenses kind of idea. But we'll smooth
Action
over
or
the rough
move.
edges here.
Okay, is
Essentially.
there a way for me to take a shot at this explosive and tuck behind this rock that I'm right next to?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's a solid bit of cover to brace yourself against and fire at the thing. So drawing your gun and squeezing off shots at that.
It was already out.
I do remember the fucking solid snake sword moment. Yes.
Yeah.
So no need to fast draw. You're just slamming yourself against the rock, drawing down on it, and rolling at a distance penalty of -4, but otherwise a straight shot.
Distance penalty of -4.
This is, I forget, did we give you a goddamn Tommy gun as your sidearm? I cannot remember.
It's a Colt government 45 because Deanna
Gotcha,
doesn't
okay.
use guns.
It's the same gun as mine.
It says it has a range
just-
of 150.
Oh yeah,
to
that's
1,000.
for caring if its damage is going to drop off past a maximum distance.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So really, it's going to be gun skill -4, squeezing off a bullet, hoping to hit the bomb.
Yeah.
And the bomb's not going to want to dodge, but the bomb is small-ish. So for size, I'll say it's a -2. It's a big block of stuff and leather.
For sure.
So that's skill -6 total here.
Skill -6.
Yeah.
And okay.
That's a very hard
Let's
roll.
see. I missed by a lot. But here's the fun one.
Skill point.
Is I'm gonna spend a
point.
point to make it a match success.
I mean, it's the solid time to do it, but spend your bennies when you got them, folks. That's why they're there. So that'll just be a match on, and he shoots the brick.
Button.
A button.
The brick passes its health roll and does not violently explode with that gunshot.
Question.
Yes.
Can I spend one of my points to make
To
you
improve
re-roll?
her roll?
No, to make
To
you
make your roll
interesting.
fail.
Oh.
Is that a GURPS thing, Ken?
What are you wanting to improve?
I'm wanting to make your roll fail.
He's
Silvery barbsing you.
You want to fucking silvery barbs the GM with a spare character point. Do you have 2?
I do, because I didn't.
I'm gonna
last
make you
session.
spend the 2 to make it a silvery barbs, but folks,
I got
sometimes you
7,
just have
baby.
you
So
just have to have the fun happen. 7? You didn't spend any points.
I didn't spend any.
no, I'm gonna make sure every roll is a match success tonight.
Hey, except for
Unlucky
one,
man.
because you are still unlucky.
Yeah. Well, it'll be an order of operations thing if we come down to it. But okay,
Yeah.
Oliver Brooks, with a twiggle of magic as the bullet was zipped past, makes the fucking explosives go off. Okay,
So he kicks the
You're
ball into the hole, cheating at golf.
kind of, yeah. He just kicks it along so it hits the right spot as it
Hits it
goes.
with his
You
umbrella.
really weren't
Now-
expecting the 5 pounds of explosives to be
Mhm.
used, did you?
I mean, I kind of expected them to either rip you in half or get used as like a bargaining chip, not to blow up the evil wizard. After having it heated across the room by literally evil people.
Now, here's the thing. Yes, Oliver kind of cheated that last little roll, but this man's not a. Sorry, that was what the hell was that?
That was
Excellent.
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas coming out.
No, he's not a gentleman, so
Ah,
therefore he
dirty
gets
fool.
no respect from me.
No quarter.
So when I gamed at the beginning of GURPS, my favorite thing in the world was to play cyberpunk games where you get big god awful rifles and shoot anti-tank shells at things and roll a fuckload of dice when you get to the damage point. Roll20 kind of takes that away, but I am going to type in a formula to make this explosion go off right now.
It's
What is it?
R
Big
slash
swinging
slash
times
R
100.
1d6. Turns out it's a really simple formula.
66 times 10.
Ken,
66 times 10 sounds way better in person, just across it, just a wooden table, just with a bucket of dice.
I mean, that's still with 3 1s. It's still 106.
orc shooting phase. Let's go. Shake,
Just
shake, shake.
Guardsmen pointing their las rifles at things, like it's so satisfying.
Just like shaking your orb and letting it go.
Yeah. You're done pondering it. It's time to let it go.
Okay. The physical remains of this wizard are obliterated. And a good chunk of that demonic portal he created was
I don't have orb.
fractured. It carved of bone. It's not anything sturdy. It's just wackadoodled.
I don't have orb.
Get back to the goddamn game, you bastards. The Dark Wizard is a smear, and his demonic portal he was harnessing is shrapnel. And for spite, I'm gonna roll fragmentation attack on you people.
Okay. That seems fair.
I'm behind a stone.
I'm behind a
Yeah,
stone
I am
too.
also
I'm behind an umbrella.
behind.
I'm behind a SWAT guy with a riot shield.
I'm behind Deanna and Oliver.
And your girlfriend.
Hilariously, the only one of you I've even threatened an attack against is Damon. Damon,
Uh-huh.
the GM says you critically fail dodging out of the way of a chunk of this hellish ruin flying at your face at high speed from the explosion.
What if I spend 3 points?
Then you will match your dodge and it whiffs your hair. Billowing immediately past you, just grazing your forehead. Not even just the pressure of the air knocking you in the head for half a second, making you realize just how lucky you really are.
Actually, hold on a second. If I didn't do that, was it going to kill me?
Absolutely, it was gonna brain you in the fucking skull.
Fun fact: with unluckiness, you cannot use it to kill a player.
Oh! Well, I would have mortally wounded you at least. But
Well, I'll spend my 3 of 7 to make sure it doesn't cut my.
violently wound your hair. It would have given you a flat top, dude. Just a chunk of stone the size of your face went whizzing
You
past.
underestimate how much hairspray is in this hair.
You know what?
We-
Actually, what happens is the debris flies in and bounces off back towards.
Look, I'm gonna have a free a millennial moment here. In all seriousness, we used to watch a show called Freaky Stories with
that
a
was good
maggot and a
shit.
cockroach.
Yes.
It was good
And there was
shit.
there was a story about a girl that used so much hair in her beehive hairdo that it became solid like steel. And when they cut it open, it was full of spiders, and that was the freaky part.
Yeah. Oh god, that show was
My
great.
my
It
favorite
was Tales from the Crypt Keeper, but PG.
my favorite, just because we're on this tangent, I have to say it now, was the one where that guy would help that old woman's groceries into her house, and then she would offer him a bunch of nuts. He was like, "You sure it's okay if I eat all these?" And her response was, "It's fine. I only suck the chocolate off."
My favorite is being youthful and not being a geezer like the rest of you.
Oh, we're old as balls, collectively.
I'm gonna
So,
live
the Dark
forever.
Wizard is fucking defeated by the power of friendship and incredible violence.
High-class
Wait,
explosives
actually?
and torture devices that were
Yeah.
used to unduly incarcerate somebody against their will.
It was a Gorget, not a Garrett.
Yep.
Okay.
But I presume we still have to get the fuck out of here.
You are still currently being irradiated.
Yeah.
On
Healing.
that note, the presence in the fire lifts a hand.
Deanna waves. Just look like
I
hi.
am the fat man.
And I am the strong woman.
Is that the fella that's down in the fire down below?
This is my domain.
No.
That was the little boy.
Yep.
Phrasing. Gotcha. Cool.
Was is a good term. Yeah, was is good.
Oh. So are you angry at us, or should we just
Shall
leave?
we discuss?
I worry not about the affairs of mortals, for you are
Sure.
small and nothing in comparison to my awesome power.
Uh-huh.
You carry with you a presence of those of my ilk. And the eyeless gaze looks at the Knight Champion of the High Queen Mab, Lady Diana, lingers on Larry for a little bit, and Larry can feel the carcinomas building up on his skin.
I'm sorry, but you're
a bit
just a bad
confusing, isn't it?
knockoff.
Leave this place, mortals, and survive.
You know, I was wondering when I was gonna get my workout in.
Ma'am? Ma'am? Like, what are your orders?
Kill him.
Larry looks up at
A
Deanna.
column of fire has just told you to leave in peace.
Yeah.
Oliver's just like,
The
no.
self-named embodiment of the 2 bombs that were ever used in war.
Uh-huh.
But isn't it not supposed to be allowed to exist?
Yep.
Because it's real dangerous. That's what Mr. Dave said. Oh.
And if you think I'm about to let an embodiment of nuclear warfare survive, no.
Especially one that can make Fey deals? That seems like a terrible idea.
You can't fight fire.
With fire
Good
With
thing I'm not
anything
using
other than
fire.
water.
As
and dirt.
am I the only one who watched Chernobyl on Netflix and specifically remembers this argument they had about the nuclear furnace that was opened up?
I
You
remember.
can't bury it.
It's
You're
like
just gonna
there's
make lava.
there's nothing we can do about any of this. What do we do? Go away for
Kill it.
25 years. Sir? He looks over to Oliver.
We should leave, Diana, Lady Protector.
Says,
This is
we
not
close
a
the
fight
door
today."
behind us. Close the door. My face hurts.
I've got healing for that. Hopefully.
Why do you have more chins than you started with?
Got healing for that. Let's go.
John, off to the side with his shotgun, goes, let's just leave.
Yeah, it seems.
The entire side of my face hurts.
I am also leaving. I don't care if you guys stay. I'm not fighting the embodiment of war with a gun and fire on fire.
You have a very jeweled dagger and a pistol.
Larry has a pistol.
It has a vague description of a power level from the GM and laissez-faire. There's like a power of 10 situation going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Is Diana really going to...
Larry's gonna follow orders. He's the middleman. He's the guy in the middle. Oliver says go. Deanna says stay. I'm just hanging out. That's what I do.
John weighs in. The lady would appreciate your return, Miss Carpenter.
Cowards. She's their sword and walks.
Fucking goddamn piece of shit. God.
Larry follows on heel and mutters under his breath, totally would have showed up my sick judo moves.
Point of order, folks. He has never rolled the skill.
It's the only skill I have points in is judo. And I would absolutely
specifically on a page that says make him roll judo.
I have neck snap based off judo. I would totally try and rip this thing's head off next time.
Okay. Your very, very crispy bodies, smoking in the aftermath, weave their way back through the boulders towards the looming hillside of freedom. And after a Sisyphean level of climbing, you head up the loose gravel of the millions upon billions of dead that have come before you and entered this place. And you come back to the entrance to hell, blown apart by unseen forces. On the back side of the door, you notice the workings in the back of the actual frame that seem to also be interacting with, I can't call them vacuum tubes, but they're more like heat exchangers. And the machinery of that plunges into the rock wall that the concrete kind of interlopes into. So from the back end of it, you can see the machinery that would actually this could power with. So
Deanna's gonna close the door.
Mr. Brooks, you got some healing magic for that door?
Yes, I can try my best.
really, it was blown open with brute force, so it's kind of just warped. And it's kind of not the right shape to fit the door frame anymore. So how do you want to do this?
Aha!
You need a door for an elevator? You have to go up the door.
What was that, Mac?
You need a door to use this thing, or can I just have no door?
No.
We went down the elevator, walked along a long corridor, and then there was now an open door to hell. We kind of
Yeah,
want to close that.
There's an open door to hell in the
Yeah.
basement of the Colorado facility.
Oh,
Felt like that's
I have
a
an idea. I have
stepping
a
stone.
really good idea.
And Gwendolyn leans in. That's it. You know. Do we?
I'm
Don't.
gonna look towards the big lady.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just stay here and stand guard.
Stay here and what?
Stand guard forever.
You know, as much fun as that sounds, I think I've got people that I want to see.
Well, if you wait a certain amount of years, I'm sure you will see.
Necrosis saying is fun.
I'm closing the door.
She starts pushing the massive block of steel.
I will use transform
Hmm.
to fix the door.
Hmm.
I'm going to then use protect on the door and put my name on it.
Ooh, I vastly enjoy the implications of this this folly here. Okay, so first,
Have you not learned about putting your name on things Fey related with Dern?
No, this is not Fey related. This is shutting a demonic door.
Yeah.
Okay, first, transform.
I'm just counting how many character points I have. I've got about. I haven't spent the last 2 episodes, so I've got about 6 left now because I used some.
Okay, good call.
I will make that a match success.
So hefting chunks of pig slag iron, you slide them into place, and like an interlocking puzzle, the pieces start melting back into the shape they're supposed to be as you reintroduce them to the shell of the door.
Mm-hmm. And then I will do protect. 7.
Solid.
Yep.
And then your true name. Don't roll an 18.
9, and I am actually going to spend how many ever points it takes to make that a critical. I will make that a critical on my name.
At the edge of hell, a mortal etches his truth into the bones of a dimension. Diana,
Yes.
shove that fucking door.
Yeah. Nine.
Oh Lord, just one-handed. It kind of just slides and locks into place. There is a booming noise like the intoning of the last drum men will hear, and the door is sealed.
Stay mad, dickwad.
I didn't know you spoke demon. That's what Mr. Brooks just put into the door. Oh,
You just saw a bunch of hibbity-jibbity going on there, and you're just like, okay, he knows demon.
yeah.
He knows what's going on. Pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. That's his true. Dickwad's his true name. No, cool.
No, it's this symbol here with the circle. Larry. It's a good day today.
It is. I'm just going to say, sir, that symbol looks like a man with like a 25-pound penis on it. That's a wad of dick right there. You can understand my folly and my mistake in that regard.
Never change, Larry.
Yes, sir.
I don't think he can.
We haven't told him that yet.
Concentrated
He's been this
madness.
way since he was 4 years old.
He was always a
He was
quiet
born at the
child.
age of 4.
So
He skipped elementary and just did straight judo class.
While everyone else was
But
getting
has
their
never
grades up, he was
once
studying
thrown a
the
punch in
judo.
his life.
where you studied the sword, I studied the judo.
See,
Folded
as
a
much as we
million
joke
times.
about this, Larry has a single point in judo. One.
I say you just shake Damon's hand and flip him.
There's actually a rule at the BPRD. It's like there's like, you know, the 10 rules, and it's like number 5, don't let Larry shake hands with anybody. And everybody's like, who the fuck is Larry?
Who's Larry and why is this written in stone?
Larry's the quiet guy whenever a fight breaks out where he's standing at the back waiting to do something, and they're like, oh man, but I haven't seen him do the cool thing yet. They turn their back and they're like, what?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Nobody ever sees it.
And Larry adjusts his tie.
You just find Larry later on eating a bologna sandwich.
Why does Larry have the same energy as like 625 from Lilo and Stitch?
More like a damaged R5 unit from Star Wars. Just screaming and vulgar noises and occasional taser shots.
He's Chopper.
A war criminal?
You don't know about Larry's past.
I mean, he commits the average amount of war crimes.
He does.
Isn't the average technically like 0?
It's higher than 0.
It's higher than 0 because at least one
Technically
exists.
higher than 0.
That's why I said it's basically 0.
Yeah.
It's
Like if you're rounding,
statistically
it's 0.
relevantly nearly 0.
There's one. He has a little bit of Canadian in him. It's fine.
I mean, like,
We are the reason for the
technically-
Geneva Convention, aren't we?
Don't get Dave
Yeah, I think
involved.
so.
All
Make
right.
our way up.
I digress. So in the aftermath of this tomfoolery, this bamboozlement of multiple entities, what really does come down to it, and the crux of all of this, is after you've sealed away the nuclear fae behind a portal to hell, at the base of a mountain, guarded by a secret government facility, do you move forward with an agreement between the Seelie and Unseelie courts and the US of Fae? Because bear in mind, the Bicentennial Committee chair
He's dead.
he's very dead. He's got his face punched out, and then he was thrown off a mountain by Diana
After I kicked him in the gut so hard that he...
after she
Yeah.
broke his guts. Yes.
He would only live by the grace of Dave.
George Washington
Pile
is
of
dead
action goop.
again. I can't describe it better. He's just dead twice.
Yeah.
And otherwise, Wrathborn's in the woods
Somewhere.
somehow.
Being weird. Cool.
So in
Um,
the next bit of time, you don't have any major clock ticking here other than the agreed upon Fae 3 days from that point to organize yourselves and sign it if you're gonna.
It's not on us to sign. I don't believe. We're just moderators, and I mean, if we hang out for 3 days and lick our wounds, and I mean, if the Bicentennial Committee shows up and they're like, "Hey, we still want to sign these things,"
They will not be signing those papers.
I love how violently Larry is fence sitting.
no, I'm just saying, like, if they show up to
Look
sign
how
it,
not
then you'll have
involved we
them.
are and how other people might make decisions for us, if at all.
Like, no, but I mean, if they show up and the two Fae courts show up too, they're all going to be in the same room for you. That's really convenient because your sword only reaches so far.
Oliver just looks over. Are you suggesting that we kill the king and queen of the Fae?
Oh no, those people were dope, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was.
But the American dude that was kind of weird and like fucked off into the
I
woods, like
understand. Sorry.
I don't. He's a politician. I don't trust that man. I didn't vote for him.
I don't think anyone did. I don't think his position is a voted position, Larry.
Technically, he was the governor of Arkansas.
Yeah,
Oh. Not anymore.
Larry
anymore.
absolutely did not come from Arkansas. He comes from a more average state than Arkansas.
You're from
Kentucky.
Ohio. You know you're from Ohio.
Yeah, yeah,
I love
Dead
how
center in the
we just
US.
went Ohio.
yeah.
Like we know anything. about-
Ohio.
The real Drew Carey episode.
I like it.
Oh my
So-
gosh.
But we should probably stick around because you've got a briefcase full of like pain and world-ending doom.
Well, Oliver pulls out an envelope from his jacket and goes, I swapped the papers.
Yeah, but you still got it on your person though.
I do.
This is kind of a revelation, though.
Is it surprising for
I'm
what
not-
we
I'm
know
not
of
gonna say it's
Oliver?
Out of character for Oliver, but I will say this is a you cad kind of moment.
I have a question.
Mm.
We were just standing in an area of extreme radiation.
That's
How
why
are
I
our
was asking.
clothes and also that paper doing?
Diana's fine. Her uniform's a little tattered, but Diana's peak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Oliver's gonna, use heal on himself multiple times.
Just blow away the radiation. Just buzz it
I'm
off
just
the
wondering if we're all like standing here, dicks flapping in the wind.
back. Literally, as they flop off, that's pieces of you begin to melt
I feel like we'd be on the elevator at this point.
Yes, yeah, probably.
easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic resistance 4.
Yeah, so Deanna's effectively physically immortal, and I did some background rolls against exposure to radiation, and she gets a +8. Like, she does not give a shit.
That's cool.
Larry's got a statistical average bonus there, coupled with spare character points worth of magic. The two mortals there, Oliver and Larry, are fine. The only wild card I think of is Damon, but I mean, she doesn't want you to die. So as much as you were exposed to a lethal amount of radiation, she kind of just moved that to some innocent children in another state. She's got blood pacts with a few people.
Wait a second. Didn't you say that
Random
if you
Texas.
ever break up, then all the bad stuff that happens to you is going to happen
All at once.
all at once? Or did you lie to me, Damon?
No.
That was vaguely alluded to. It was very true.
Did you just call me Davin?
I called you Damon.
It's cool, but you're
This
still
entire-
Damon.
This entire game is just us getting Damon's name wrong.
Damon. Apparently.
Yeah, like Devin over here.
Yeah, this fucking Dave guy.
Bryce, right? His name's Bryce.
Steve.
Vincent. I heard Vincent.
Fucking Vincent.
But yeah. I wish you a
Okay.
long and prosperous relationship, my friend, so you don't die in pain.
Is nobody gonna twig onto the fact that the succubus just said that several children have leukemia now?
Oh, no, we did.
Deanna knows the deal.
Larry can't do anything about that.
Yeah, that's
I also can't do anything about that.
And she's horrible
Horrible.
Yes, that H word.
because
If it makes you
monsters
feel
are
better. Your poor
horrible.
children.
Horbal, if you will.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Herbal.
Horrible.
The same.
Hor-
I just end up getting all that stuff back in me, and I'd rather not.
yeah.
You're
Hormel
That's
chili.
what she said.
Hormel.
Horrible?
Okay, so
I'd rather.
nuclear power aside, you're all magically fine. The SWAT man, it's just like, yeah, that's cool. I'm good.
The
I
power
pat him
of
on
Mab
the back.
compels you.
I
Yeah.
pat him on the back.
Don't touch me. But so the general consensus is if the committee sends another group,
Within the next
maybe
3 days.
you wouldn't argue with them, and you're gonna sit it out.
I think
Suffice
that's a
it to say-
consensus of 2 people.
You're gonna stab anybody that shows up, I know, but
Yes.
over the next 3 nights, sun rises, moon sets. You guys putter. You eat sea rations. You mop up where you can, as the compulsion gets to. You find a bunch of old board games and pass the time.
Deanna shakes Theory's hand once, but nobody saw it. No one will ever believe him.
Yep.
Thank you for letting me use a high-grade explosive. It was exhilarating. I should really carry more of them.
So the iron dust that I have left, I'm going to do two things with it. First one is I'm going to rebuild the bust of Winston Churchill.
But of course.
But a miniature version of it, because I still need some of the dust.
A library fob. Yeah. Okay.
The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find the sprinkler system and put it in the water.
That I love it and I hate it and I love it again. It's
just
rusty ass water.
Yeah, well, it's rusty ass water, and that's a standby that he lets the Lady Protector know about. Is a just in fucking case.
Yeah.
We call that insurance.
That's like that Toto song, right?
Yes.
We bless the rains, yeah.
Yeah, because
up in the
Africa
mountains in
doesn't have any.
Colorado.
Well, no, because Africa doesn't have any vampires anymore because they did the rains.
That is why they did that. Actually, I was there. I actually helped.
Cool. Yeah.
Was that song out by this point?
Toto?
It's not, but I'm going with it.
I mean, weird.
I think they'll write a song
cross-dimensional
about it
shenanigans.
eventually.
Yeah. For some
It
reason,
was
Deanna Carter's in
1982.
the
You're a
background.
couple years soon.
Oh, it's 6 years away. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were the original inspiration for the song.
Exactly.
Brilliant. So 3 days later, it's July 4th, 1976. The actual bicentennial. And as the moon rises to its zenith and midnight strikes, you've spent the evening looking out over the horizon, the eruption from Colorado, the fireworks in a volley lasting at least way too long for any sort of July 4th celebration. 10, 20 minutes at least. It was great. They spent way too much on that. The time passes. An ill wind blows. Nothing comes of it. Charred remains of George Washington remain in the barrel you shoveled him into. The body of the Bicentennial Committee head is never found. And the Fae do not revisit. They do not come back to the Colorado facility. And a kind of weight is lifted. A sense of peace hits this place. The mountain is calm and quiet. And far off, below you, down in the mountain range, you swear you could see the glimmer of a man hoofing across the plains with a stick and a jacket and a chip on his shoulder for that little short bastard who wouldn't shut up. And he steals a glance back at the facility. Disappears off into the woods.
Before our ride shows up, eventually, if we can get comms working again after
The phone works. Yeah.
opening up a reactor downstairs, Larry looks out onto the pristine Colorado mountainscape and is like, "We need to buy land here too." And he reaches into his bag because separate days and all of that jazz, and he pulls out like one of those 2-kilogram bags of peanut M&Ms. And he just he looks at the facility and thinks about the major domo. He looks down at the woods and he thinks about Mr. Dave. And he's just like, stuck in the middle and I didn't die again. And he just puts the bag down and walks away.
The forest is owed that much. Yeah. You shove it in a tree stump and just fuck off.
Yeah. Somebody can enjoy peanutty chocolatey goodness.
There is the slight issue of Damon's paper. Because you're going to have the BPRD re-arrive, pick you up, send a taxi of some capacity. Damon and Gwen.
You didn't die.
Technically, according to the charter, they've earned an appeal hearing based on their actions attestable by BPRD agents and auxiliaries.
Hearing for what? What have I done wrong in the first place?
The murders in Texas, I think. All those murders.
First off, self-defense. In Texas, that would
You
have
were
counted
a
as self-defense.
violent accessory to several.
Second off,
Prove it.
Flamethrower hand.
Look, kid.
Sure, but stand your ground laws exist in Texas. As stupid as those laws are, they exist.
Oh, but this is the basis of the argument. Continue.
Look, kid. What laws apply to regular people? They don't apply to us. Look, you stick around. You go through this hearing. It's honestly fairly safe for people like us. I mean, it's dangerous, but it's safe.
And well, if a fat man like myself can survive, now come along.
you are functionally immortal. You got that going for you. I mean, she's horrible.
I heard that.
Hey.
And for what it's worth, I can see why she likes you.
Oh.
Aw.
That feels to be. I appreciate it. That feels weird to hear you say.
It's a threat.
It's a slight threat.
I mean, it's
Big
yeah.
lady
She could make
secretly
that.
into small, skinny boys. It's like the D&D movie with
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper.
Weirdest sudden out
Nah.
of nowhere casting, by the way. Just it still has my vote. It's solid. It jive, but like
I just kind of like sit down and go, well, I can go back to London right now.
I mean, BPRD is a joint committee between American and British.
Well, I was about to say
Well, that's sort of what I mean, though, is that I can't exactly run anywhere. I've joined in all the places I can easily go to. So
There's always Africa.
We would find you. But I mean,
They would find you.
they pay pretty well. Like, honestly, it's got dental. And you've got the
So
big
am
book
I.
of British smiles going for you, so
am I getting paid for today then?
Oh yes.
You're doubling down on I'm innocent, but also you should pay me for what I went through?
Yes.
Yes, and they will pay for all of your legal troubles and courts and
well, technically, aren't we
editing and
the
the-
courts for supernatural
I mean,
humanity?
yeah.
yes.
So isn't
But
it
we
all
still
just kind of
have
a
to
wash?
pay the judge, and the last
What-
time we didn't. Pay
Don't we
for-
own a judge though? Like it's this giant eldritch being with big metal scales that lives in the bottom of our headquarters. That like it's like Egyptian or
Yes, but we
some
have
sort
to
of thing.
feed it certain things. Gold.
Yeah, that's right.
uh,
Yeah, no,
Yes.
yeah. Feed the
And
Egyptian
we do
god
have
cards.
to like pay to wipe him from the pre-existing American and British
Oh, yeah.
legal systems.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's-
and,
On that note,
it's a weather balloon.
Professor Broom, when you are picked up, demands two things. One, his
Candlestick in the
fucking
library.
briefcase.
Here you go, sir.
What did you take that for?
I didn't, sir. It fell off a desk into my bag, I believe. Just circumstance.
Anyways,
You know how it
otherwise,
goes.
He demands from each of you a reason about
For what?
from the agents. Broom is the end-all and be-all director of field agents, so he just needs an argument from each of you in his favor.
On what happened and why this went tits up.
No, well, I mean, the facility's in the hands of the BPRD. The money came through from the committee. Regardless of the outcome, you're all alive and in one piece. And the untested field agent lien press-ganged prisoner, is alive, not wearing his explosive collar, and hasn't killed any of you. So he takes that as the inclination that you guys want to keep him around.
Yeah.
So all he asks is your argument for.
Sir?
Based on the field report, it looks like Deanna Carpenter was the one to cut the collar from his neck.
Yes. Yes, she was.
Would have been useless if he exploded.
We'd be dead.
Also, the
Sorry,
collar
I'd be dead.
repurposed. Yeah. The collar repurposed, and we kind of saved the day with it, so.
I do
An
have,
ingenious bit of repurposing.
I do just... Oh, the hour gone is an hour I'll never get back. And
Still seething about that hour I took away.
oh, I am. Yes, I am.
Stress leave.
don't
It's a thing.
know.
It's a
Yes,
thing we have.
I have a friend to go see, but I think first I need to wipe everything from this necromancer from my brain so he never comes back again.
Do you say that while brandishing a bottle of brandy?
Yes. In fact, it's it's a bottle of gin.
Memory polish.
And he goes, "I'll see you on the boat. I'll see you on the plane." And he goes to the plane.
Just any old plane.
Well, I mean, to
Whatever landed, he's in it.
yeah. I don't know where Oliver's going. He's going to go meet Dr. Faust, and he's just like, I don't know where he is right now. He'll pick me up somewhere. And
a
Oliver
prison
just
plane.
walks off.
These. I lean into Broom and I say, "Hey, turned out pretty good. I mean, there's some benevolent spookers around. The mountain was surprisingly kind to us, despite having built a base on it. They don't know. I'm not sure how mountains roll these days. Haha. But
Negative 10 horse points.
Damon did a good job over here. She's horrible, but he seems to have her on a tight leash.
I think it's the other way around, and I don't think she's as horrible as you think she is.
Poor
hurt
children in
children.
Texas dying of leukemia says otherwise.
I mean, 4 kids,
They could,
the end
they
of
could
the
be future
world.
Bush voters.
So we're keeping her around for a while. Cool.
I'm kidding, of course. Please do
Larry-
not think of that. I actually believe that.
Larry
I'm thinking
eats
in, like,
his candy.
My character's processing brain.
Yeah.
Demon girlfriend, gotta justify it somehow.
They could vote for terrible people in the future.
He goes where the demon
They
booty
could vote
tells
for
him to.
perfect people in the future.
Don't you dare.
Well, I'm gonna get.
He gets on a
Sleepover.
plane and eats his candy, and it's just like, yep, it's a pretty good day. He thinks about going home to his house alone.
And debates buying a shack in the middle of nowhere in Colorado.
Yeah, for all that vacation time he's accumulated that he will probably never get to use.
Well, the case closes on several notes. Specifically, the necromancer's been dealt with, but there is that dangling participle in the end. Wrathborn. We'll revisit it in time, but seems he's made a neat escape somehow into whatever fold he came out of. It's not very clear from your report or otherwise how he was involved with these escapades, other than the testimony of a man you shot in the ass and left to die in hell, and otherwise vaguely lost track of during a Bacchanal festival with a Fey entity. So, he's being marked down as a BPRD person of interest at least. Time will tell. Otherwise, the paperwork goes through for Damon. Specifically
With a note?
on... Go
With
ahead.
a note that he doesn't actually want children to die.
Yes.
He just has no control and he's trying to rationalize it.
That's fair.
Staunch moral staunch moral attestment, at least, to the fact that he does not directly wish for children to die of leukemia.
If
Willingly.
demons are bad things.
Demons are bad. Yeah, demons are
Demons
very bad.
are bad.
So the paperwork goes through on Broom's more cautious side. He has a penchant for saying yes to demonic forces. He has a stipulation that she needs to try pancakes, but otherwise the two of you will be shipped together, at least on a loan to England for a while, until the heat's off. You're banned from going to Paris. Just to be safe. Otherwise, Broom is at least satisfied that now the BPRD has some foothold here in Middle America. We'll no longer have to hide out beneath a waste processing plant in New Jersey.
Ooh.
Broom, I'm gonna take some vacation time. If you need me, just call, and I'm gonna toss him my little stone from the Unseelie court.
I love that.
And then
And that
Deanna turns on her heels, takes 3 steps, and disappears into wind and darkness.
Yeah, no, that is a perfect segue for her character. Oh god, I really want to revisit this one day. But folks, I believe that is going to be...
Can I end it on something?
Oh, Oliver, if you have something, definitely.
So, Oliver arrives at a very posh mansion. Let's just say that is somewhere in the boroughs of London. Like definitely this land will be billions of dollars one day kind of thing. And gets driven up to the front and doesn't even knock on the door. He's expected. And his friend Faust is on the other side. And he goes in for some tea and biscuits and begin talking. And Oliver pulls out the paper. And on it was a contract that has his name on it. And the fact that the door seal, for as long as he is alive, cannot be opened. And he looks to his friend and he says, "How do we make sure this is never opened again?"
Leeches. If it works for Van Helsing, it can work for you.
It's true.
I think it's time I introduced you to a good friend of mine, Mr. Dorian Gray.
That's excellent.
And that would definitely be the next leaping off point for our good friend Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
No worries, folks. So this has been GURPS B.P.R.D. It's definitely my own brand of GURPS. I will say that I've been running this for... Oh god, I just had a moment of introspection and thought back 15 years. I've been running this or something like it, and constantly getting surprised by the little things that I omit or gloss over in the GURPS books. I'm not running this as raw, straight out of the basic set. This was closer to light, softer interpretations of things. You won't find Oliver's magic system in a book. You won't find specifically the stat block for Gwendolyn anywhere other than on a fragmented hard drive. And I don't think anybody noticed that we built Deanna Carpenter with 50 more points than any other character at the table, simply to represent that ass kicking. She straight up started off with 150 compared to 100.
Now, did you expect your big bad battle to last one round?
You know what? Over the years, I've learned to live with the fact that folks are going to pull high explosives out of their pocket, and I'm usually the one to give it to them. Then again, Larry had Gizmo. He could have pulled that stuff out of his pocket.
I used it on the
anyways.
Geiger counter.
I also don't think he was expecting us to blow away the portal with a gust of air.
Yeah, I did. I had certain caveats in my head that I was like, okay, he's definitely incorporeal, but tangible. So, yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's as simple as a game of tic-tac-toe.
No.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. If you like what we do, we will be back here not this coming Monday, but the Monday after. We're jumping into Star Wars 5th edition with
excited for that.
David
Look
and
at you.
myself and Mac and
The return of the
Leon.
day.
Yes. Who's replacing Riley?
Don't know yet. We'll figure it out. I'll hit up the green
Me.
room and
I'll play 2
find some people.
characters.
Neon, we have
Yes.
to chat about our characters' history
Yeah.
and common things and
Yeah,
music, and
we gotta.
we play Jizz together. So
yeah, you
Yeah,
all
Inside,
this
a little
is
inside.
the dankest jizz.
Yep.
If you stopped by
See ya,
for
doctor.
if you
4-day
stopped by
old-
at
that's our new band name, 4-day-old Jizz.
if you stopped
Leftover
by at
jizz.
GameCon to say hello, thank you and welcome. If this is the first time seeing the stream, if you want to tune in for more things, we've got a new season of Roll for Beer coming out in the near future. We're
In the next
talking
month
with
or
some
so.
guests. Yeah,
Heavily
We-
funded roll for beer.
there's that too. But we're also going to be starting off with a live, an in-person Riley and I sitting on a couch, doing some taste testing goodness.
Yes.
So yeah, and Max got one of the books that we were giving away with Kobold Press, or several books that we were giving away with Kobold Press.
They're going to people, including some youth groups.
It was a
That's
very
fair.
fun con. I have a patch on my jacket now that's the Hylian shield. Only folks with actual like cloth patches, and I managed to find something I love. It's a great con.
Mhm.
Oh,
We're
it's
gonna
the
be
I got a
Chimera.
Plague Doctor mask.
It's the Kanakamera, guys. This is our new mascot for horror.
Ayo.
yeah. We're gonna be at FalCon at the end of August, running a couple of
Yes.
tables as exhibitors. If you want to come and play some TTRPGs or paint some minis, you can check us out in Calgary. If
Only
you
a month
are,
and a half away.
yeah, if
You guys
you're
still have
not
some of
local,
these, or
Oh, yeah, we'll have some.
we'll still have a couple left. Yeah, I got a few boxes kicking around. So, if you want to check us out online, YouTube's where we're normally at. You'll see some reruns and stuff on Twitch just to feed the trolls and keep everybody happy. Yeah, thank you very much for running this, Ken, and we'll step back to GURPS again sometime in the future.
Mhm.
And thank you everybody for stopping by
Yeah.
and putting in cool ass kicking Hellboy shit.
Thank you, everybody. This has been fun.
Goodbye. 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 No, sorry, I need something better. Orbs.
Again with the
Orbs.
wandering.
Orbs.
I don't have. I got new
Orbs.
dice. I bought a new die. Does that work?
I don't know if
Shiny
that's
blue
gonna show up on
D20.
the screen.
Good night,
Um,
everybody.